Hello, editing Margaret here. Ooh, I could have jump scared you real bad there. We unfortunately lost one of the video clips to this episode, so it is audio only up until about the 34 minute mark, where the video does come back. Terribly sorry about that. We hope you still enjoy. And while I still have you here, we do have a very exciting announcement. And you guessed it, it's about merch. The official Eldritch Podblast merch will be available exactly 1 week today on Monday, the 29th of May at 6 p.m. GMT on our website, www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk. You can go there now and you can put your email in to be notified as soon as it launches. And we just want to say thank you so much for your support and all of your excitement. We are honestly so excited too. All the links are down below as usual, and we'll be playing back images of the merch available for the next 44 minutes while there's nothing else on the screen. So thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Hello and welcome to episode 37 of the
Eldritch Podblast.
I'm Margaret.
I'm Jack.
And who are you? What are you doing in my house?
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
I'm confused.
I'm just trying to shake it up a little bit.
Oh, nice.
You gotta keep people on the edge of their seats,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But people get complacent.
I feel like a lot of people are going to be on the edge of the seat after that abrupt intro. Hello.
Hello? I feel like if this is your first time watching us, I'm so sorry. We're not normally this aggressive.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. It's very much like this all the time.
Hey, how you doing? That was loud. Sorry.
No, it wasn't that loud.
That was pretty loud.
There's been louder.
It has been louder. Oh my God.
From you, obviously.
Oh, yes, definitely from me.
Always from you.
I'm the one who always peaks the mic.
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
Yes.
Definitely.
Oh, so, hello. How is everyone? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah?
Yeah,
You sure?
I am.
Good?
I'm good.
Sure?
Listen,
Know what's going on?
we've been filming. You know how a few episodes ago we were like, we're changing our schedule. We tried.
Yeah, we haven't been able to keep to it at all.
We're in the middle of changing our schedule, but there's been a lot of outside factors that have changed things. So we've bbeen filming. This is like our fourth day consecutively filming in a row.
Just sort of fucking as and when. Oh, I swore.
No, Jack. We're a minute in, Jack. Yeah. So we're kind of filming back to back at the minute. So to be honest, we don't really have a lot to update you on.
No, well, considering the last episode that we recorded, you'll have saw on Thursday last week,
but we
actually recorded that yesterday.
I don't want to talk about it. Listen,
It's been a wild one.
It's been a wild
bit of a
one.
crazy week.
It's been a bit of a crazy week. It's been a very, very busy week, but here we are. We're back on schedule. I'm feeling good.
Feeling good.
Dog's licking himself.
Dog's no longer licking
Dog's
himself.
no longer licking himself. So, hello. I like how our Thursdays episodes are the one that are absolutely unhinged.
I feel like all of them are just quite unhinged
I
now.
feel like, yeah. So many people have been saying that they've been watching from start to finish.
Yeah,
and
I feel
also,
like we've got a few new people who've done the full...
Yeah, the full slog.
Done the gauntlet.
Yeah, the gauntlet,
Yeah,
yes.
from beginning to end.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
for,
thank you for that.
Thank you for,
I go back and I watch the first one, I'm like...
Yeah, we're such different people. Even, you know what? Even, I'd say the first handful.
Yeah, I feel like it was tough, innit? Because I feel like we were trying to convey that we understood a decent amount about D&D.
Yeah,
And,
I think we felt like we had something to prove at that
it's
point.
like, well, if we go on the internet, we've got to know a lot about D&D.
And yet,
We do know a decent amount about D&D and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people watch us maybe not so much for the D&D,
yeah.
and more just because they like the fact that it's D&D orientated.
Yeah.
But they just sort of like,
It's
the vibes.
It's a bit more.
And the vibes in those first ones weren't good.
no, they were good.
The vibes were good.
The vibes were good.
We were just very awkward.
We were very nervous.
Yeah.
I look back on the first couple and I can see how nervous we
You
are.
were really nervous. I remember before you were like, "You're not nervous." I was like, "Not really."
I was like trembling, quaking, nervous. Like I was so nervous.
Thing is, right? If you were live, maybe, but the thing is, you could have just filmed it and never put it up. So I
True.
don't understand,
True. You're right.
Well,
you're right.
you do understand. I can't say I don't understand because I do understand the nerves. But
Yeah. And I had done YouTube before.
YouTube.
I'd done YouTube videos before.
Yeah,
So I don't know why
So tell everyone what you did.
No. I did cosplay.
She did, yeah, and they were very good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
one of them got like 40,000 views or something like that, didn't it?
Yeah, but what's that between friends? Am I right?
It's still quite a lot of views.
Thank you.
I wish one of these videos would get 5,000 views.
One day.
One day it will.
One day it will.
I feel like the amount of views that we've got already surpassed what I expected.
Yeah, true.
I remember
Rattling, Skull Blasters.
I feel like
watch us 40,000 times in a row.
now.
Please.
Get 40,000 tabs open. I think when we hit 1,000 views, I was like,
yeah, I know.
never like, I don't know. I thought that was going to be sort of like after the first year territory.
I know. I agree. I fully agree.
And then, we got it in like the first like couple of months, and I was like,
yeah, so thank you.
Yeah, it's insane.
Obviously, we couldn't have done any of this without you.
Like every single video that we uploaded, like, I remember we got 1,000 views, and we're like, what about videos?
I know.
Every video we upload is getting 1,000 views,
I know.
and like some of them are going beyond that. It's just for a channel that's only been a thing for like what, 4 months? Is it this today?
Oh, is it the 16th today?
It's the 15th.
It's the 15th today.
Before.
So it's
4 months.
4 months tomorrow. Our time, not your time, technically. Yeah. It will have already been for 4 months. So yeah, feeling good about everything.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So thank you so much.
Closing on 3,000 subscribers.
Yeah. We couldn't have done obviously any of this without you. Thank you very much. Thank you for
You rock.
You rock. Were you going to say you suck?
Yeah.
You suck. You rock.
You rock.
You're the best. Thank
you're
you.
Awesome.
You are. Thank you.
It means a lot to us.
And for the people who have been here since video 1, because I know a few of you are, and to the people who are going backwards,
like,
thank you.
The people who've been here since video 1. You're crazy.
Yeah.
Because I do watch that and I'm like,
I don't know how you saw video 1 and you were like, yeah, I'll stick around.
Subscribe.
Thank you so much. And I bet in a year's time we're going to look back on this and be like, we're going to be like absolutely deranged, like unbridled chaos. And
I feel
look
like
back
we're
in
at like not max deranged.
Max deranged. Oh no, I can get so much more deranged, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
I feel like we're pretty comfortable now.
I think we are.
Do you want to tell me how you really feel, man?
I think we are. I think we're comfortable now, which is me too.
I feel very comfortable.
Me too. And it's because of you. I feel comfortable because of you, and I hope that you feel comfortable too. I hope so many people have said it feels like that hour before D&D when you sit together with your friends and you all just talk shit. And people say it's kind of that vibe, like you're sitting down with friends, and that's all we could ever want.
Yeah, that's all we want.
And we're so happy that you're here. So thank you. Before we get into today's actual topic, there is two little bits of fan art I would like to go over.
Go.
If that's okay with you. Watch everyone be like, no! Shut up! No, God! Ugh.
No, we love the fan art.
Yeah, we
do.
do.
You have to love it too.
Yeah, because...
Yeah, you love it.
Thank you.
Good.
That was a long way to say I love it, but thank you. There's a long...
You could have condensed it
down.
Yeah,
you just,
far more.
It says us.
I don't know what you're talking about. Professional podcasters.
Concise. We're professional podcasters.
Professional podcasters.
Yep.
Podblasters. Because, we're the only podblasters. So that means we are the professionals. But we're also the rookies.
The worst podblasters.
We're also the worst
by default. Yeah, so,
I'm happy with being the worst and the best.
Yeah, no, me too. That seems that's a good spread, to be honest.
It's a smorgasbord.
Smorgasbord. A posse of blasters.
That's you.
We're talking about you. Yeah. You're in our posse. You want to be in our gang?
You want to be in my crew?
Well, too late because we have your blood, so you don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice. You're in it no matter what.
You're in it regardless. So the first bit of fan art. So this is this has been sent in by Dana. I will, of course, leave all of Dana's links below.
Oh, this is the mood board,
This is the mood board. So I... Write the chapter down, Jack. Write the chapter down. This is kind of not what I would suppose like a traditional fan art, but it's still, it's still so fucking cool that we wanted to include it. And Dana put together a mood board for Rayla, and I honestly...
I nearly put moon board. That would have also fit.
Moon. Oh yeah, moon
board.
And I think this is perfect.
Yeah.
I don't... It's wild to me, Dana, that you were able to... just from listening to the podcast and things I say about her, kind of get a sense of self from her and pardon me. Oh, goodness me. Oh. Get a sense of... Anyway, cut it.
Is everybody okay?
Get a sense of self from her. And I love that there was a girl and there was a wolf.
Yeah.
I feel like that...
That's cool, isn't it?
That really...
yeah, it was, wasn't it? Because, the whole Vendari thing.
Yeah, Vendari.
There was a girl.
Yeah, and
there
now
was a wolf.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that. And you know what? I think my favorite bit is the hands with like the stars
Hands with
on
the
them.
stars on them, because
Yeah.
you know when she goes into wolf form,
She gets
one
the
arm
stars on her.
with like one paw like wreathed
Yeah.
in flame, and one hand, one paw wreathed in like galaxies and stars.
Yeah, and I just think that just is amazing. And like the hair and the moon and like the elements of the pelts and the wolves and her hair and the ear. Man, this. If I ever think I need to get into Rayla's headspace, I'll just look at this.
Yeah.
Because this is so perfect.
Have you created like a playlist for Rayla?
You know what? I've never done that.
Yeah, I know you haven't, but I feel like it's something you would love to do.
It is. I think my problem with that is, I don't know if any of you do this. Like, there's music you hear and like TV shows you like and movies you like, but when someone says to you, oh, what's your favorite movie or what's your favorite song?
Blank.
You just draw a
Blankness.
total blank.
Just blankness.
That's kind of like the same vibe I get when I'm trying to put a playlist together.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
However, the one song that I do absolutely associate with Rayla is, if you haven't listened to it, I would 100% recommend it, especially if you're into heavier music, is Animals by Architects. I think that song I really encapsulates.
Yeah, 100%.
And I love that. And there's a version of it. There's like an orchestral version of it.
Yeah.
I
actually think I prefer that to
the
original song.
I'm going to leave a link to that orchestral version below.
Oh.
And watch everyone be like, boo, you didn't.
Boo, I put it here.
But please listen to it. It's not only a banging song by an amazing band who stand for the right things. You know, I that's the one song I attribute to Rayla. While we're talking about songs and characters, the other song I attribute, it's gonna make me cry.
Oh no!
God.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
The other song I attribute to my characters is my character Willow.
Yeah.
And you know that Hosier song?
I know this one.
Oh God!
I mean, I knew Architects are my favorite band.
What's it called? It's called Would You I or something like that. It's the God, I'm gonna absolutely ruin this. It's the one that's like na 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 na.
Would that I?
Would that I?
Yeah.
Na 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 na.
Yeah.
Like, I think, you know, I feel like that perfectly. That is 100% what I think of when I think of Willow.
Yeah.
It could make me cry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Anyway, Dana, thank you for the mood board.
Yeah. That mood board is dope as hell. I think maybe that's something that I would potentially now do going forward for a character.
That's what I said. Like,
I've never done that before.
Yeah, no, neither have I.
Like, I do. When I think of a character, there is just like a handful of things that like I try not to spread myself too thin. Like, oh, they have this value and like this, and it's just like I have like literally like a couple of things that like, I hold really dear to my character.
Yes,
like a hobby or like just like one family member that I always focus on. So I think like getting a mood board for just those couple of things would really help me like play my character.
I agree. I think I'm gonna go back like when I have some spare time, and I'm gonna do this for both Willow and Beloved. I think I would just, you know, just as an exercise, as a homage to my characters, and probably cry the whole fucking way through because I'm so soft.
Dana, this is cool.
Thank you, Dana.
It's really
Thank you so much.
Really like this thing. It's awesome.
So on to the next bit of fan art. So this was done once again by our dear darling Paris, who is one of our mods now, and you've all seen it. You all love it. You've seen the rap versions of me and Jack. They're actually profile pictures on Discord. They were drawn by Paris, and here's the human counterparts. Like, just my ratlings.
I just like how I'm peeking in from the side.
My children.
And I love the quote that you picked.
I'm not your dad.
I'm not your dad. I didn't have children for a reason.
There's a reason I don't have kids. It's the way you're in the background going, I'm not your dad. And I'm like, children, my children. Come here, children.
Come closer. With the grabby hands.
The grabby hands. My children. My ratlings, my squadlings. And just, I'm not your dad.
I'm not your dad.
I'm not your dad.
Calling me dad.
I love this. I think
it's awesome. This is the first bit of art of me that isn't a rat.
Yep, this is the first fan art of Jack that isn't a rat.
Yeah, it's cute.
And how does that feel?
Awesome, amazing. It's crazy that people want to like draw me.
It is absolutely wild, isn't it?
I don't think I'll ever wrap my head around it.
It is. And you know what? A few people were like, I didn't realize Jack had a septum piercing. And they realized it because of Paris's fan art.
Just so you know, whenever it looks like I'm picking my nose like this, I'm playing with the balls of my septum piercing.
Oh. He also picks his nose a lot. Let's be real.
Not on camera, though. I don't put my nose on camera. I can if you want.
Cut to you, absolutely knuckle deep. Again,
gotta get the brain.
Real neighbor kid energy.
Yeah, real neighbor kid. And I wipe it on my t-shirt.
Yeah, you eat it.
Yeah.
Oh man. So thank you so much, Paris.
Thank you, Paris.
That's awesome.
So cute.
I love it. I feel like that encapsulates our energy 100%. And I love the little rats in the background. Yeah. Just little rats in the background.
Rats not bats.
Rats not bats, baby.
Is that the new saying?
No.
Rats not bats. Eldritch Podblast. Rats not bats.
Rats not bats.
Rats not bats.
But when do we ever include bats? Or is that
no, it's just because, normally it's bats, isn't it?
With who?
I don't know, just a lot of people.
What are you doing? What?
People pick bats and that.
People pick bats. Abby has a lot of bats.
We pick rats.
We pick rats. Well.
We're not the batlings, we're the ratlings.
Okay. Ratman instead of Batman.
Rats.
We're the rats. We sleep at
Everyone in the Discord has got rat names, not bat names.
It's true. Yeah, fuck bats, am I right?
Let me hear it.
Come on, say it.
Let me hear it in the comments.
Say it. If you're in a watch party, say it.
Let me hear it.
Fuck the bats.
Fuck the bats. Bats not rats.
Bats.
No. Rats not bats.
No. Rats not bats.
Always rats.
Okay. I mean, I like bats. I am. No, boo. No. No.
Get her.
Go on.
She likes the bats.
I welcome it. And me. Thanks, Jack. Thank you, Paris, and thank you, Dana, very, very, very much. So I guess the only next thing to do is give you a session recap. Right? Jack? Hello?
Gripping the table.
Yeah, absolutely white knuckling.
Oh.
So the session started with us setting off to... We were kind of on the way to Jotunheim. We're going to Jotunheim to find something called the Spark of Potential, which is kind of basically the game changer, right? Like, it kind of works as a wish spell. I know there's a lot more nuance to that, but
it doesn't work at all like a wish spell.
No, but it's kind of in that level of sought after and powerful. I think.
Yeah.
I think that's the easiest way to explain it without kind of going into the lore of things, right? It basically shows you. It makes the impossible possible.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you have a more clear way to explain it.
Well, not just yet, because you don't know exactly how it works or what it's capable of or why people want it.
Yes.
But it's like the reason you want it can be almost anything.
Yeah.
And it will just help you achieve your goal. It's just a powerful artifact that will probably help you achieve your goal.
Yeah, it was kind of described as it shows you every avenue to get what you want, basically. And that's, the main thing that we are working towards to use it for good.
Yeah.
And then the BBEG is working to get it for bad.
Yeah.
As such things are.
Yeah, as, stories go.
I want to preface this by saying we had a betrayal.
Yeah, we did. We had a bit of a betrayal.
It was one of those, one of those, earth-shattering, oh my God, how did we not? One of these, I'll get into it.
Yeah.
I'll get into it. So basically, after kind of, a few days of traveling.
Yeah. I would say a few days of travel. There was about 2.5 days of travel before you got there, with the previous session having another day or two of travel as well. So it took you about 5 days to get to the place that you needed to go in Jotunheim.
Yes. And it's like a frozen wasteland, right? And if you heard any of the campaign updates, we had learned prior to this that the reason that the mountains are kind of built on the bodies of giants is because there's something called permafrost in Jotunheim, which is like a big, I was going to say antifreeze. It's the exact opposite.
Yeah.
It's like a permanent freezing thing. You touch it, you turn to ice, whatever. It's not death, but it's frozen and encapsulated in time.
Yeah.
And we had learned that the leader of the giants, Hrungnir, had sacrificed himself and unfortunately doomed the Giantkin to being frozen forever when they decided that they wanted to revolt and they wanted to kind of storm back into Midgard.
Because Odin had asked them to move out of Midgard into Jotunheim and stay there until humanity had like settled itself in.
Yeah,
like
it's the idea
all the
that
human
it's
race is like
the time of men.
Yeah,
right?
And then when Odin had said it's now time,
The giants could come back.
Can come back, and they couldn't wait long enough
Because it was a long time.
Yeah, and they started to want to come back.
Naturally.
One giant, Aegir, led the charge back and sort of rallied everyone up, and then Hrungnir had like built a dam of permafrost that was leaking off a mountain called the Njord Mountain. He'd like dammed it up so no permafrost could get into their city Muspelheim.
Yeah.
And the moment where they all began to charge, he told his daughter to run.
Yeah.
He smashed the dam, froze himself and all of the other giants in time.
Yeah, and we had learnt from Hrungnir's daughter Yggdrasil that the spark lies within his hammer.
In Hrungnir's hammer.
And we get there. We see no other giants.
None.
Which we were expecting to see, right? We were expecting to see a whole city of like frozen giants. But we just see Hrungnir stood there, immortalized in stone, in ice, and his hammer. We go up. Matthew's character, Hermeta, he is heavily tied to the spark because he had been brought in and experimented on by the BBEG. Fucking Angerboda. And he was tasked with finding the spark. So we kind of left it to him.
Yeah, so like Matthew had been like experimented on and like augmented. And changed to be able to like hack whatever came at him in Jotunheim.
Whilst on the journey to get the spark.
And a number of people before him had failed, but Yggdrasil, like we said before, she broke the charm that was on her. She let Hermeta loose.
Yeah.
And now Hermeta has returned to do it himself for good, not for somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. So when we got there, I think it was all clear to us as players, like we were going to let Matthew take the charge on this, right? Yeah. I think we're all very good at allowing the person whose moment it is to have the moment. And, Matthew wasn't the only... I'm saying this because I'm setting something up here. Matthew wasn't the only person who had been experimented on. There was many others.
Yeah.
And we had found along the way to
Jotunheim.
Well,
the Muspelheim.
To the Muspelheim. We had found actually the body of someone who had also been tasked and experimented on by Angerboda. And we found that they had this necklace on them, right? And the necklace works basically like a Pokeball. You can put something or someone in it. And we were like, great, we can put the spark in it. Remember that. So we get there. We had been hanging out with Yggdrasil, his daughter, and we said, like, do you want us to do anything while we're there, just out of respect? And she said, I'm going to get upset.
It's okay.
She said, like, can you just tell him I'm okay? We were like, yeah, of course. And we had been given sending stones. So when we got there...
she also said, tell him that I don't blame him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the first thing we did when we got there was we had sending stones, and Rayla just said, like, hi.
I'm going to put it on speakerphone.
Your daughter wanted us to say some words to you, but I think it might be better if she gets to say them herself. So she puts it into speaker mode.
Leaves it at the feet of this 30-foot giant.
Yeah, we just walk away and we just let her have a moment to be able to tell her father whatever she needs to. And I think that was really important to Rayla. And I think that was really important to me as well.
Yeah.
And then Matthew hears a voice in his head. It's only Hrungnir and fuck himself.
Yeah.
It's only Hrungnir. And Matthew, I'm assuming he has a connection to Hrungnir because of everything that had happened and the experimentation and the giant kin. Although that hasn't been fully confirmed yet. And Hrungnir is basically like, you want the spark? Many have tried. Come and fucking get it. Basically. Hrungnir is... Without knowing too much about Hrungnir, he seems like a good guy. I like the cut of his...
You like the cut of his jib?
Cut of his jib.
Like the cut of his jib, yeah.
I liked his crack. And Matthew, Hermeta, began to scale.
Like the whole point, Matthew this whole time has been like, he's got like animal claws, so that's why he's got climb speed.
Yes.
And like his jump distance is good, and he's very fast. So like I just made it like... it's like Matthew built his character for that reason.
Yeah.
So in this moment, I just made a bunch of like quite difficult. I took a picture of myself in the position that Hrungnir was frozen.
Yeah, yeah.
And I basically said, it's like I was basically like, it's a jungle gym, Matthew. Like, how do you want to get up?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, this is what he looks like. These are the armaments. He's got a belt on, like there's leather straps across his chest. And Matthew was like, the way he like climbed onto the back of his boot and ran up his calf and jumped to his belt.
Jumped to his waist.
Worked the way around the waist and then onto the leather strap that goes up to his shoulder and jumped across the, you know what I mean? Like
it was built for Matthew and like Matthew enjoyed it.
It was built for Matthew.
Exactly. And we all knew that.
He succeeded really well at it because that's what he built his character for.
Exactly.
And it probably, I don't know, but it probably felt quite good for Matthew.
It definitely felt good for Matthew. Definitely.
Yeah.
Also, when we got there, just to be on the safe side, Rayla cast the tech magic just to make sure that it wasn't a double bluff and the spark was in there, right? Spark was in there.
Spark was in the hammer.
As
you
well
could
as
see it. Sort of like there was like a clear part in the center of the hammer.
And it was obviously
there. You could see the spark glowing inside.
And there was also another ping from something.
Yeah.
We didn't know what on the waist belt. We had also noticed, with good perception checks, on a mountain kind of adjacent to where we were.
In the Nyard, the only mountain there, the Nyard Mountain, which is where it's like when lava explodes from a mountain, it's that but permafrost. So like that's where all the permafrost is coming from, and that's why they built the dam.
Yes, and we saw, we don't know what it was, but we saw something like light glistening in the same way. We have a spyglass in the same way a spyglass would glisten when looking. So we knew we were being watched, but there was nothing. You know, what option did we have? Matthew gets around. He finds the source of what the detect magic was pinging from the waist belt, and there was another fallen experiment who had also tried to get the spark and had unfortunately not made
himself
it.
On like, because when Hrungnir got frozen, it was like flash frost, and there was like loads of like jagged spikes of ice off. And this person had fallen from like where the hammer was above, where they needed to walk across, down onto one of these spikes and died. And you know, so you got a ping from the neck, the necklace that person had.
They all had a necklace.
Yeah,
remember that. So Matthew manages to get there. He gets to the spark. He basically, it's not like there's a riddle, but there was, you know, Hrungnir was like, "You made it. Well done. You deserve it. I'll show you the path." Shows him the path, and then he says, "I can see that you want to use this for good.
Yeah.
However, there is someone amongst you who does not."
So, in the last session, every time someone had reached out to that Aurora Borealis and one of the spirits sort of like touched the hands, the spirits of the giants flying through the sky, Abby had said her goal was to kill Odegar. Yeah. And that's what she'd used the spark for.
Yeah.
Everyone else, like, Humetta said, "I just want to reach Valhalla."
Yeah.
You said you wanted to be with your family again.
Yeah.
You know, so everyone was like given, and so I said that knowing that
we were going to be like, "Oh no, it's Abby."
Sort of looked at Abby.
Oh no, it's Abby, and Abby was sat there like the whole time.
But
we'll get to that. And you know, Humetta was like, "I trust every single person who I'm with implicitly." There was kind of like a dream montage of the spark showing off its potential of what it can do. And Matthew is in this sequence. Jack cuts to us and he goes, "Matthew,
can you just put your fingers in your ears and close your eyes for a second?"
So Matthew sat there covering
and that is the first time I have asked somebody to like leave the table.
Yeah, you don't do moments
I don't
like
really
that.
like to do that because I like it's good that everyone out of character knows.
Yeah.
But in character they don't.
Yeah. And he was sat there covering his ears and his eyes, and he goes, "The rest of you," and we're stood at the base of this 30-foot giant. Humetta is alone up there. He says, "You see, from the body of the fallen experiment, you see the necklace light up, and you see, coming out from the necklace, you see Angerboda." And we, of course, were losing our fucking shit. Matthew had no idea what was going on. It was basically all a trap. She was waiting for us, and she knew we were there. She knew we could do it. We got there. The one person up there who had the spark in front of him, ready to take, the spark was vulnerable. She just fucking sprints up to him. That's when you bring Matthew back in, and it becomes a battle to see who can get to the spark first. And I cannot stress enough to you how important this spark is. And Angerboda, from what we know, is the BBEG, right? She is the be-all, end-all. She's the BBEG. And here she is wanting to get the spark, which we've known she's wanted this whole time to do terrible fucking things with. And here we are, like, it's within grasping distance and we can use it for good. We can stop her. Didn't expect her to be here. And lo and behold, she gets the spark. We try so many different things. We go through so many different options, but she's powerful.
Gosh, she is.
She's strong. Like there's
she's orchestrated all of this.
Yeah. Well, and then we fucking learn. She kind of has a little bit of a speech. Maybe not as much as I think you would hoped you'd be able to get out in that moment. But she was just like, "Thank you. You did it. I knew you would. I knew you could." And I made sure this whole time I facilitated you in every single way to help you here. And she puts on a disguise. And it's the first advisor we met in the very first town we went to who guided us to the first Earl, who was very tied up in all of this. She drops it. Puts it up again. This one hurt because she was an NPC who was the advisor to the kings and queens of the land, who were the sons of Tia, called Runa, who we trusted. We had told her, well, we, the worst part is, right, we had doubts about her from the very beginning. Yeah. And she had done some weird stuff that...
The first time you got that claw of Fenrir.
Yes. She had an adverse reaction to it.
She had a reaction to it.
Yeah.
And there was, everyone sort of doubted her, and you all sort of began to like talk yourselves out of it.
Well, yeah, we all started talking, being like, we think Runa's involved, we think Runa knows more, and then we talked ourselves away from it, and then there was something other fucking weird she did, and I was like, what did you just say?
Yeah, she mentioned an NPC that she shouldn't know anything about.
Yeah.
I did it on purpose.
Yeah, to give us the hint. And I was like...
What did you say? And I was like, oh, sorry, nothing.
And there was a moment of... Okay.
And then you just dropped it.
Yeah.
And then there was basically giants are good at like augmenting space.
Yes.
Like they're very good at that. They're very good at so there's only one other giant they've ever met, which was Igvilf.
Yeah.
The daughter of Hrungnir.
Yeah.
They saw Igvilf's little tiny shitty shack in the swamp.
Yeah.
They went inside and it was massive.
Yes.
And the only other time they've ever seen that was when you went into Runa's tent when you were traveling with her.
Yep.
And then Igvilf said, well, that's giant magic for you. And Abby literally said at the table, oh,
that's exactly like Runa.
It's just like Runa's tent. And that was it.
And we had so many doubts about her. And I can't tell you how we could not believe it. It was one of those deadly silent, head in your hands moments, like absolutely spiraling. And then she does it again. And this one, you know, the Runa hurt the most because, again, we had told Runa everything. She was our correspondent between the children of fucking Tia, right? Tia, who is being held right now in Vanaheim by Angerboda's children. And it turns out Angerboda was Runa the whole time. So the implications of what we've told her is terrible. I can't stress that enough. And then she also disguised herself to show that
Lieutenant Tamer, somebody, basically
someone else who helped us,
who like got you to get the Fang of Jormungandr.
Yeah, and I think that hurt Hermeta in particular because there was a running joke that we were trying to set Hermeta up with her, right? She was sweet, she was pretty, like we were trying to set them up, and it was just a betrayal. And I'm saying it exasperated, but it was amazing. I can't stress how amazing it was. We love that shit. I love that shit. I love a betrayal. I love a plot twist. I love being fooled. I love it all. And I know everyone else does as well. And that is kind of it, really. We ended up because we were on like an ice shelf basically because you know it's ice, and we ended up falling through and down.
She'd been holding the hammer after you got the spark out.
Yeah.
The hammer was just sort of like ready to fall. So she was there the whole time, like concentrating on that.
Yeah.
So they all tried, towards the end of the conversation, Hermeta hits her with a natural 20 sneak attack through the palm of a hand where she's
to try and break
her
concentration.
So the concentration falls. The hammer falls down, shatters the ice. You all begin to fall. She uses the spike to teleport away.
Yep.
And you all skid down, like weaving in and out of some of the debris of like you can see in this like large decline of ice. The remnants of leftover buildings and like hands poking out and
giants.
Like so they hit the bottom, and in front of them they see just the frozen wastelands of Muspelheim.
And there we are, absolutely devastated. All of it. Igneous is a giant monkey. Don't want to talk about it. Igneous couldn't join in these conversations because he was a big monkey. But there we were. Well, our characters were feeling God. 1,000,000 feelings. I think Hermeta's feeling very dejected. I think Hermeta's feeling like, what's the point in going on? I think Priestess is feeling, well, it's happened and we have to get on with it. Don't know what Igneous is thinking.
The monkey's not thinking a huge amount right
Monkey
now.
Not thinking anything. And Rayla is furious. Rayla is really fucking angry.
Yeah.
And feels betrayed.
Probably because she has been.
Yeah. But at the same time, there's these strange undertones, and Priestess touched on it perfectly. Priestess was like, Angerbode is the bad guy, but you have to think this all stems from a bigger problem, and it stems from Odin. It stems from Odin saying to the giants, you need to get out of here. Some lore maybe we haven't told you is that Odin is married to Freya, who was of Vanaheim. He married Freya, took Freya away from Vanaheim, and basically made Vanaheim a wasteland. Basically just used it for all it was worth, took the good things, left the bad things.
You know, it's sort of those like proposal marriages of back in the day where it's like two families connected and things like that. Like he very much portrayed it as like, look at what we can do together.
Yes.
And then as soon as he got her hand in marriage, he left, and then things just started to go wrong.
Yeah.
But you just don't really know why.
No, we don't know why yet. But you know, this is all pointing to Odin, and Priestess said, imagine if your people, this happened to you. Priestess was like, I would do the same. I would want to liberate my people. Hermeta posed a good question. He was like, would you kill innocent people to do it? And Priestess said no. And Rayla actually had to step in and say yes. Rayla was like, I would kill innocent people if it meant protecting my own, and it meant protecting my people who I felt had done an injustice. She was like, I kill innocent people for you all the time.
So this is the thing. It's like, it's a very morally grey campaign.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Like, yes, there is bad guys. But who's
the bad guy?
Who is the good guy as well?
Yeah.
Apart from potentially the four people at the table.
And even then, I think they're questioning. Rayla's questioning herself.
Yeah.
In fact, she's not. She knows for a fact
It's like
she would do terrible things.
Every single time you think there's a good guy, you hear that the good guy does something bad. And then every single time you hear there's a bad guy, the bad guy's sort of like, well, I can see it.
Exactly.
So it's like, Hrungnir, a lot of people would think what he did was bad, but he probably did it for the good of other people. But then Angerbode blames him.
Yep.
And Angerbode has been wronged probably more than anyone.
Yeah.
But she's not doing the
right
things.
thing. Exactly.
So it's sort of, you know.
Again, if you've played Last of Us 2, no spoilers, it's kind of the same vibe as that of everyone's the fucking bad guy.
Everyone's the fucking bad guy.
And how you handle the hand you've been dealt in life determines whether you're the good or the bad guy.
Yeah.
And everyone's handled it wrong. At least that's the vibe I'm getting. There's still quite...
This is the fucking vibe.
There's still quite a lot that we don't understand yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, that ended up being, once again, much longer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of lore. There was a big betrayal. I cannot stress to you how stressful that betrayal was for all of us. We gave you a little applause at the end.
Yes.
Because it was an amazing session with an amazing plot twist.
Yes.
And that's that.
Yeah.
You're very good at being modest, Jack.
Sometimes a little too modest, I think, to a detriment of myself.
Definitely too modest.
I'm sometimes like, well, that didn't go exactly how I wanted it to go.
Yeah.
So it was trash.
Yeah, well, to us, that was a highlight session.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the best sessions we ever had because of the things that transpired. We don't know how things are going to transpire.
It is tough as a DM, even for me. And I should practice what I preach a little bit more than I do. But
you should.
I think, there's times where I've known that from session 1.
We fucking didn't.
And now we're like 28 sessions deep.
We had no idea.
And, we play for like 5 hours at a time. So we're like, we're
hours and hours and hours into
we're
it.
100 and nearly fucking 300 to 150 hours into the campaign. And, I've been waiting for that moment.
Yeah.
So, like, they're all like, they're like,
yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Curse of knowledge, baby. That's what it is. Like, curse of knowledge.
This was a huge moment for them.
It was a huge moment. It was a huge
moment for me, but not quite as huge because I'd known that for so long.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah. It's nice, when you hear all of it. When you say it all back to me, I'm like,
exactly. And
I've done a good job here.
Let's be honest. I think you were maybe being a little bit harsh on yourself, and you were maybe thinking things hadn't gone how you wanted them to.
Yeah, I had a big speech written out because I love speeches.
Oh, I love speeches. We all love speeches.
A bad guy monologue is like the reason I play the game.
Yeah,
to so everyone can hear like
100%
why.
Yeah.
And what's next, maybe.
Yeah.
And like
get some context.
Everyone was so desperate to get the spark.
Yeah.
Every time I went to go and do the speech, like it was interrupted, understandably.
It's because we were panicking.
Yeah, because you were panicking. So I didn't maybe get out everything that I was going to get out. So I think at the beginning of next session, I'm going to say, just so you all know, this is what she said in the moment as you all attempted to stop it. I'm just going to read it out.
Yeah, so you should.
Because I got most of it out, but then...
Yeah. You got the biggest part, which is the fucking betrayal out.
Yesterday... when I was like, I'd said to Margaret, I wish I'd been able to say it out loud. So I got Margaret to listen to me.
I listened to it, and I, you know what? I think we all need to hear what she had to say.
Yeah. So, the next session, I'm simply just going to put the music on and be like, just so you know, this is what she said. And then the session is just going to continue.
Yeah, because
it doesn't matter.
Of course it doesn't matter.
I didn't get to say it in the moment.
Of course it doesn't.
So,
and I think, hey, everyone, I think Jack's maybe been a little bit harsh on himself here.
I always am, though.
I think maybe you've been in a bit of a funk because of it.
Yeah.
And take it from not just me, take it from everyone. You're an amazing DM.
Thank you.
You've done an amazing job, and you've created a story that we are all so... I'm going to get upset.
It's okay.
That we're all so invested in, and we love it, and we love our characters, and we love you as our DM, and we appreciate you as our DM.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're amazing. We love you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Good.
I'm fine. Yeah, but because it's, to me, in those moments are the hugest moments. Like, if they don't go exactly how I planned them, because I don't like plan everything, but when it comes to like big bad guy speeches, I do plan a lot. So like I write out the monologue, and then I also write out like cues as if it's like a stage cue. At this moment, she like begins to wipe the tears.
That's how I used to do it.
Like at this moment, she pulls the spark in as a hug because the spark is made out of the ancestors of her people. Odin took all of the dead giants from Midgard and coalesced them into this energy.
Yeah.
And said, I know that your ancestors are important to you, so take them with you.
Yeah.
And like in each giant like home or like city that there was left over, there was something called like a pillar of creation.
Yes.
It was like a dead ancestor,
which was like the essence of the ancestor, right?
Like, wouldn't allow themselves to like pass on to the afterlife and rest. They would allow their soul to be used to help create things.
Yes.
So Odin took them all, gave them to Hrungnir, and then and basically create a new society from that.
Like, my question is, right, who is Odin to do that? Who is Odin to be able to do that?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? What gave him the right to do that?
He's the one who created the giants.
But that doesn't give him the right.
Doesn't exactly.
I guess that's the whole point.
But he thought he had the right.
I don't know.
And so like when she got that spark, Angerboda is a giant.
Yeah.
So she'd literally
it's her people. Yeah.
She said out loud like, I've missed you all.
Yeah.
Like, you've been here all for so long, you must all be so cold. Like, she was speaking to the spark as if it was a person.
Yeah.
Or her people.
Yeah.
So, and like, I wrote out this big monologue, and I didn't get to say it all, like, as I wanted it to go, but, sometimes that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But I read it out to Margaret, and Margaret enjoyed it very much.
I did.
So I want to read it out to the rest of the group.
You should.
I'm gonna.
You really should. I think our characters need to hear it.
Yeah.
So they can have a discourse about
because,
what the fuck's going on.
And at the same time, there was, like, quite important information in there.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Like,
there's a lot of important context.
What she might be going to do.
Yeah.
And, it's a fucking story. Bad guys don't do that, but bad guys do that in D&D. So.
Yeah, of course. Bad guys kind of have to show their hand a little bit.
Yeah, you gotta, because how the fuck are you going to know?
Yeah. So that's the campaign update. We'll update you when we have another one.
Yeah. I'm gonna take this week off, I think, because we had to play late last week, and we've been recording so much. I haven't even had planned to prep this week, so I'm gonna call off this Wednesday. But I think we'll probably be on next Wednesday.
Yeah, but this is all in the past for you now. It's all in the been past said and done now. At this point,
gonna take the week because that was a big arc.
Yeah, it was a big arc. And that all you DMs out there, it's important that you take the time you need, especially after a huge thing like that. Just take a break. No one minds.
Oh yeah, but I need to take my own advice sometimes. And, I've had a lot on, and this was a massive arc, and I just need a week to
just catch a breather,
get my shit together, because I don't want to go into the next arc
totally already exhausted, from
unprepared as well, because I haven't had a huge amount of time to prep it, and that took a lot of stuff to prep.
Totally.
And I didn't have a huge amount of time, so
yeah, take a break. Take as long as you need. It doesn't just have to be a week.
I think I'm probably just going to take a week.
Yeah, it can be as long or as short as you want, and that applies to all of you out there.
All of you, listen to us.
Listen.
And if it doesn't go exactly the way you want it, you can just say it next.
You can just retcon things. You can just say it next. Because no one cares.
Yeah, because they want to hear it. They
exactly.
You're the DM, and it's like in that moment, I understand that your characters don't want to let her talk, and they want to get the spark from it.
Yeah.
But I also know if they had the choice, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, fuck yeah, say it."
Yeah, well, exactly.
I want to hear it.
Exactly.
You've written it, and it's
if you had just said, right,
yeah,
you've had your chances. Yeah. You're fucking not getting it back. We would have been like, understood.
I mean, I think you all began to see at the end, like,
definitely how powerful she was.
How maybe above you all she was in that moment.
100%.
Especially with the spark in her hand.
Yeah, 100%.
Is what maybe
I think our characters knew.
Yeah.
There was no point, but
you still I
think as players we knew that there was no point, but I think our characters knew it as well. But our characters were going to die trying. Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have.
Yeah.
So that's the campaign update. We were like,
it was a big one.
We were like, we're going to keep this episode under 2 hours, and I don't think that's possible now.
We can try.
So,
I hope you enjoyed that.
Yes. And you, take your own advice.
I know I do, but I am.
Be nicer to yourself.
It sometimes takes a day or two to get there. Because I am an emotional being.
Yeah.
Like, I think all of you can probably see from the podcast that I'm an emotional being. Yeah, maybe I don't do it. I don't show it by like crying. I know Margaret likes to have a cry and stuff like that, and people are like, "Oh, Margaret is much." No, I'm emotional too.
Yeah,
but I'm emotional in a different way.
Yeah, you are.
Like I'm just I get in my own feels.
Yes,
a lot.
Very much so.
It's like I don't. It's not so much like an empath or empathy. It's more like I'm really emotional, like within myself.
You are. Yeah, you are. You internalize a lot of things.
Yeah, and like. I have a lot of conflict inside of me.
Yes.
And like, if the thing is, it's the age-old story of like, I can give it out, but sometimes I can't take it.
Well, I think that's everyone.
I can give out a lot of advice. And be like, why are you doing this? But then when I apply it to myself, I'm like, I don't deserve that.
Yeah, I mean, I said this to you. And first of all, you do deserve it.
Yeah, I know I do.
I said this to you, like, when you were a little bit upset about it. I said, like, what if someone had put in an advice submission?
I know.
And had said this, what would you have told them? And you were like...
I tell them what I tell them every time, that you like deserve to tell your story,
and you're a human being.
You're a human being, so I know. So
I know. I know. It is tough. It is tough. It is. And we're shining examples of do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah. But I always do. I like to think I always do in the end. It always just takes me a couple of days to like
get out with it,
figure it out.
Yeah, definitely. That's natural.
Margaret always talks me through that.
Yeah, of course I do.
I feel like I wouldn't be as far as I am as a human being if it weren't for you. I feel like it's true though, because like I think Margaret like maybe says things that I need to hear. I maybe don't want to hear it in the moment.
Yeah.
But I think after a couple of days, I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, yeah. And I think to make an informed decision, you have to have all of the things in front of you, even if you don't want to face them.
Yeah. I agree.
And that's that on that.
Yeah.
So, shall we get into what we're actually talking about today?
Yes.
That kind of moved on from just being a session update. I think there were some things we needed to say there.
Yeah.
So, hello.
We did it together.
Oh, we did it together. Oh.
And with all of you.
And with all of you, always. Thank you. So, today, as you can see from the title, I promise the title doesn't say loads of talking about us and then and then am I the arsehole?
It's a podcast about me.
But we are doing some more Am I the Arsehole D&D editions taken from the Reddit. The Reddit. You actually compiled this episode today.
I compiled this one and the next episode.
And next episodes. So thank you very much.
Don't worry about it.
Very much appreciate it. The last one you did, which was
long.
The Horrible Households, but it was great. You did a great job.
Well.
Yeah, I know. I know. But you did a great job. So, shall we just get into it?
Let's do it.
Again, these are, once again, all of our own opinions. Why am I saying this? You know us. You know what we're about now. There was something else I was going to say. What was I going to say?
I don't know.
Number one.
Hit me.
So, a wizard complains about being targeted. Simply put, a wizard in my campaign decided to be an evocation wizard so they could sling spells everywhere and not nuke the party. No big deal, I thought. Then he started using fireball in literally every single situation. Why does it always come to this?
Why is it always
fireball? Talking to an important but powerful NPC. I don't like his attitude. I want to cast fireball. Merchant won't give away items. I'm gonna steal it. I cast fireball centered on the merchant. Group of enemies, you guessed it, fireball. But oh shit, half of them survived and decided to all attack the wizard who just nuked their platoon. That's targeting. Why are all the ranged guys shooting me? Sleeping Hydra. The one head is awake because Hydra casts fireball before anyone can stop them. Why is the Hydra ignoring the others and charging me? In brackets, because they didn't attack, not enter combat. There is blood and gore in a hallway, and the rogue says there are traps. In brackets, duh. Fireball casted and walks forward. Shocks that the traps triggered by pressure plates go off anyway. The wizard, no way, I burned all the triggers. Giant, unknown crystal golem just standing in a room and not moving. Fireball.
Of course.
Golem shoots back a lightning bolt from its head. The wizard, why did it attack me?
Oh, I don't know. It's a mystery.
I love how many examples that this poster had. That's
many,
a lot of examples.
That's so many examples.
That's a lot of specific examples as well.
That's a lot of things that have definitely happened.
So technically, yes, I'm targeting the wizard because he's attacking everyone with obvious and flashy attacks. But am I an arsehole for it? Honestly, the other player told me I should just kill him off. I would, but the cleric heals him as a character, and it heals him as his character is like that, even though the player wants to fucking kick the wizards in real life. So there's a couple of edits, but shall we discuss before we go?
We'll discuss before we go.
Yeah. Listen.
It's not the answer.
Fireball is not always the answer. Sometimes it is.
Sometimes it is the answer.
It's not always the answer.
It's not always the answer.
It's not.
It's just not.
That would be so frustrating.
See the Hydra head, chuck it. I get it. See the group of enemies, chuck it. I get it. But the NPC and the merchant that doesn't give you stuff for free.
I know.
Your DM might sit there and in the test be like, I'm gonna make a magic item shop and this is what it looks like and this is the NPC and these are all the stuff it's gonna give you. And it's
created considered magic items for everyone potentially.
You know what I mean? That's a lot of effort. My magic item shops are always recurring.
Yeah.
Always recurring.
Yeah.
It's I make sure that, they build a rapport with the party.
And we have access to
or
them.
they have a little mission for them, so they do them a favor, so they'll, they're always Sunny in the first town. He made you do a little quest, and you did it for him, and
now he trusts us,
and now he gives you a little bit of discount every time you come in and stuff like that. You know, If I'd have done that, and then someone was like, "Oh, it's not the price I want." Fireball. I'd be
devastated.
I'm gonna have to make another magic item shop now. And it's I have other shit to plan. I don't want to be just planning magic item shops because you just burn them to the ground.
And the whole just absolutely an important NPC, but you don't like them, then just to fireball them. It's man, there's so many other ways to go about that.
Yeah, and horrible NPCs can also be for a reason.
Well, yes.
Like bad guys.
Yeah, well, yes.
And or like somebody to like drive the plot along. They may not be like the nicest person to get along with, but they might like have an important mission.
Yeah.
Or have an important like goal or value and stuff like that.
And sometimes people just aren't nice.
Yeah. It doesn't mean you get to just fireball them.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
so annoying.
That is annoying. And that is just very murder hobo. That's very, very just a player being fucking annoying.
And I just want to say, in the interest of like all of those enemies, I fireball them. Like, you fucking know that if that happens, I'm targeting.
Oh no, 100%. Yes, of course.
If you're that dangerous, people are going to try and take you out.
Especially intelligent. Even just people. People are going to see that the wizard at the back has magic and is fireballing from a distance. Of course, people are going to target you. Yeah. Of course. I feel like that's... Well, I was going to say, I feel like that's a common thing to know, right?
Especially like you said, for intelligent enemies, like a platoon of soldiers.
Yeah, of course they're going to target the spellcaster at the back.
They're going to be combat trained, and they're going to know how to be tactical.
And they're going to understand that spellcasters are squishier as well, just through nature of, like, being a platoon of soldiers.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's so annoying. I really hate there's no consequences to my actions, which it feels like.
Yeah.
So there's 2 edits. Mm-hmm. So the first edit is, so the post got bigger than I expected. I do thank you guys for your feedback. Yes, the player has been spoken to a couple of times out of character, and their response was the dreaded... What do you think I'm going to say?
It's what my character would do.
It's what my character would do.
We don't
subscribe to that.
We don't
subscribe to that.
That's not why we use it.
No.
We do. That's what my character do to make informed character decisions.
Indeed.
Based on what your character would actually do.
Yeah.
Not play like an asshole.
Make it's what my character would do a good thing.
Make it a good thing. Take it away from these terrible people.
If they won't work with a party with this character, I may try to get rid of them and see how things go with another. If that doesn't work, I may have to kick them out despite requests. So, to go back to the actual original post of being like, my players say I should just kill the character. It's like, that's also not the way to deal with it.
That's not the way to do it.
The way to deal with it is to...
Like, talk to the player.
Talk to them outside of game.
Outside of game, not in character or anything like that. Outside of game, be like, why are you constantly fireballing everything and then asking why I'm targeting you? And
then if they just give the response, it's what my character would do, saying, well, no, that's not good enough.
No.
Because you have to listen to me when I say it's making my life difficult.
I can't even imagine how difficult
that's so difficult.
Like, because as well, it's like, that's exactly what these enemies would do. That's exactly what the Hydra would do. If nobody else is into combat and you just chuck a fireball at the Hydra, and the Hydra sees you do it, it's going to come
for the person who hurt them.
It's going to come at you. Like, I as a DM subscribe to that more than anything.
Of course, no, I agree.
When my enemies make decisions of who they're going to attack on the turn, unless they're like Unga Bunga Troll Smashy 2 intelligence.
Yeah. Caveman looking ass
bitches.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking think.
I feel like that's a common thing.
Yeah.
That's a common thing.
Yeah.
And I think, after having that conversation, if it's what my character would do, hit him with a taint.
Just taint in the face.
No, hit him with the
hit him with a taint.
Hit him with a
I think that's exactly what we should do too.
Hit him with a taint. End of. I think you need to say then, okay, in that case then, it's making my life really difficult and I'm asking you not to. And if they continue, there's your fucking answer.
There's your fucking answer.
Your friends, there's no way someone who respects you and who is your friend will hear you say that and not change.
Yeah, not change.
Yeah.
Like, if your DM literally asks you, like, it's a bit different with the combat stuff. They need to understand why.
Yeah.
It's like, of course they're going to attack you if you're the one who instigates combat.
Yeah.
And chucks a fireball.
Yeah.
And does the most damage. Yeah. Like, you are making yourself a target there. You need to understand that.
You are.
But with the NPCs and the shopkeeper, like, that's just flat out not on.
Totally not on.
It's just
totally not on. That's just murder hoboing.
Murder hoboing. It's like, I spend time making these NPCs that might have quests for you, whether you like them or not, whether they give you the right price or not. I'm fucking doing that.
Disrespect of everyone's time.
100%. I agree.
Everyone's time. And then the final edit is, after some recommendations, I'll be allowing the player one final session. They'll be warned ahead of time that their actions have consequences, and should they fail to heed this warning, the PC will be removed from the game either through death or capture. If they, the player, have a serious problem with this, they will be asked to leave and not return. I once again think that's not the right way to go about it.
I think the last bit, asking them to leave and not return, is if they're not going to listen and you've given them a bunch of warnings, then that's what I think to do. But
don't give them the
in-game, death and the capture and stuff. It's just not even needed.
You just need to say to them as a person.
Yeah.
So I don't think the DM's the asshole here at all.
Not at all.
Absolutely not.
I think if they had potentially done what all their players wanted to do, they showed quite a bit of restraint here. If all the party was just kill that person.
True.
So it's good that they know if they'd had done that, then they would also have been the asshole.
Yeah, and my response to that is surround yourself with better people.
Yeah, I mean,
but, that's not always.
It's tough, isn't it? Because it's you can get along with somebody in real life, and then when they play a game, they can just
be different,
100%. That there's a table out there where people don't give a shit about murder hoboing and stuff
100%.
Like that. So,
yeah,
it's
100%.
Obviously, I don't like it, and I don't think personally
none of us would do it.
It's a game that I would like to play in, but that person can go and sit at that table and kill as many NPCs that the DM doesn't care about if they want.
Yeah, of course. But DM is not the asshole.
Way.
The player is 100% the asshole here.
I just loved all the examples.
I loved the examples too. And you could tell that was written from such a place of frustration.
Oh,
that poor DM, man.
That would drive me up the wall,
it would drive
baby.
me insane too. So, number 2. Thanks, Jack. So a character stat's really that important to some people. For context, recently I got to making a homebrew campaign online set in a homebrew world. Went out to look for fools on the internet to pop in and have a great time in D&D. Got a whole crew going and I let them roll for stats. One guy I recruited, let's call him Trist for now, sent an excellent application for the game and I thought, hey, this guy seems like he knows the drill. It'll be awesome to have someone experienced with D&D help to introduce newbies into the game with, spells, and other stuff which I might overlook. And so I let him into our game. When he popped in and I announced that the character sheets will be made available in a few moments, he immediately popped into the VTT, virtual tabletop, and got to making his character. But when he got a few terrible rolls, he instantly complained to me about it. I told him to keep 9s and above, but you can re-roll 8 and below. He re-rolled them and got slightly better rolls, and the next thing I knew, he was out of the game. I don't know if this is just me, but whenever I roll a character and I get horrible rolls, even if the DM allows me to re-roll bad rolls, I usually keep them. Sure, gameplay-wise, I'd have disadvantage compared to an ally who rolled an 18 on a 4d61 for stats, drop 1 for stats, but personally, I find having 2 to 3 bad rolls makes for great roleplay. I don't want this to be an Am I the Asshole post or another Am I in the Wrong post, but I kind of find it unbelievable that people out there playing a TTRPG would have this kind of mindset. I've played since 2012, but this is the first time in my life where I've encountered a numbers Andy so bad he'd rather hop into another game than to keep some low rolls. For context, his stats were 4d6 dropped the lowest.
So there's 2 sets of stats here.
Yeah.
This is the first one.
So this is what they got the first time round.
And then asked to reroll.
So they got a 17, a 14, a 10, a 9, an 8, and an 8.
Mm-hmm.
After the reroll, he got 17, 14, 10, 9, 12, and 13. They're pretty good stats. They're pretty good stats.
One second, let me get the calculator.
They're good stats. To not have a single... Everything's a plus.
No.
Apart from the 9 and the 10. Sorry.
No, the 10's
10's a 0. 10's a 0.
It's not a negative.
So there's one negative.
Read them out to me. 17,
14.
17,
14.
14.
10.
Yeah.
9. Why are you...
Yeah.
12. 13. Sorry, listeners, for the silence.
That's 75.
Which, and the minimum you set was 72.
Yeah.
So
71 or 72. Having a 17, what was it? 17, 14, 13, 12.
And then a 10 and a 9.
So, you can put your +1 into the 17, make it an 18.
Yeah.
You can put a +2 into the 13 and make it a 15. Or into the 14 and make it a 16.
Yeah.
So you've got 2,
already great stats.
Really good stats
and,
there.
You have 1 minus.
What about this? Keep the 17, put a +2 in the 14 to make it a 16, put the +1 into the 13 to make it a 14. Then you got 17, 16, 14.
I'm that meme of that woman trying to do the math
like
in head.
They're not bad stats.
They're not bad stats.
Not. Even before, they weren't great.
Yeah, the
9,
ones
8,
before.
8's a bit rubbish.
That is rubbish. I would be upset with that.
But the thing is, they let him re-roll it.
I would be buzzing with that second set of stats.
Those second set of stats are for level 1.
For level 1, those are great stats.
They're great stats. 75 average. Like what's the minimum you want?
Yeah.
Like, really. So the thing is, right? We've talked about this on the podcast before, and we posted a TikTok in it. And do you want, like, I feel like I had my mind changed slightly about the discourse that we had around this topic.
Yeah.
And, you know, like we've always said, like
your opinion can change on things.
Yeah, it's like we're never close. Like we just think things and say them on the internet.
I'm having some crisps.
Oh, if
it's loud.
Okay, so anyway, as I was saying, there was discourse before about, like, I was like, you know, some people don't care so much about the stats and they just sort of want it for roleplay reasons. Mm-hmm. And then people were like, I understand what you're saying, but I do think being a shit character in terms of, like, all of your stats are pretty rubbish can actually, like, be a detriment to the group and sort of bring it down. And do you want to know what? I understand that. I get that.
There's two ends of the spectrum, right?
Yeah.
There's being a total min-maxer, which, you know, we don't have a problem with.
We love it.
As long as
the shit out of them stats.
As long as the whole group. It's like, you can either all be min-maxers or you all have to not be min-maxers.
I don't think so. As long as everyone in the group is okay with each other, this is the thing.
Yeah.
I think...
You know, there's two ends of the spectrum. The min-maxer, and then there's the person who doesn't want anything.
Who doesn't care.
Who nerfs themselves too much.
Yeah.
And they're both a problem. It's like the whole slow driver situation,
exactly. That's
right?
The thing. They're both a problem. But I think as long as the group understands each other, they can both also not be a problem and play in the same group. Mm-hmm. So it's understanding. See, the thing is with this person pisses me off.
I'm so with you. Wait, which person?
This person who's left the group because... Ooh, are you about to say the other person?
I am.
Go on.
I'm going to say that OP has a really terrible attitude about this.
Okay, Go on. Preach to me, baby.
Well, do you want some crisps while I
No, I'm okay.
talk? You sure?
No, I just had some crisps before we started. Sandwich and crisps.
The attitude I'm getting from OP does not pass the vibe check at all.
Yeah.
Being like a numbers Andy. Or we might as well be say Debbie Downer now as well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think
just so you know, later in this episode, there is some... Did I leave it out? I think there is the word negative Nancy, which I don't like, but the story was good.
Oh.
You know, we don't like this Debbie Downer, negative Nancy.
Numbers Andy. Come on.
Like,
get a grip.
Yeah.
Like, I really think the attitude that the OP has... Now that I have the actual insight to the numbers, I think my opinion changes a little bit.
I agree.
But I don't like the way that OP is being like, whenever I roll a character, I keep him. I think it's great to have disadvantages and things. It makes a great roleplay, and it's like, not everyone thinks that.
And that is exactly the two people I was talking about who don't mix together.
Not everyone thinks like that.
I'm more than happy to play a game with somebody who doesn't care about numbers and who just wants to turn up for roleplay.
Well,
because
we do.
Because, you know, like, I just don't care. As long as everyone's having fun.
Exactly.
And as long as the DM understands that, like...
And as long as the players understand.
Then it doesn't matter.
Like, you know, me and Josh, I would say, me and Josh definitely like to build a really strong character. We get big numbers. We like to do that. I think Abby kind of sits in the middle where Matthew... you know, we've said before, he nerfed himself.
Yeah.
Like, and that would be a problem if we didn't all understand and we didn't care. Like, we don't care.
No,
he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He turns up to have a great time and to roleplay.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters, and so do we.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, these two people can both exist, but they also need to begin to understand that they need to understand each other's point of view.
It's the same thing over and over, isn't it?
I don't get why you would leave a party after rolling 4d6 drop one with a total of 75.
I know.
It's like,
I agree.
How fucking strong do you need to be at the beginning?
I agree. I fully agree with what you're saying.
I don't get that, but also at the same time, it's like numbers. We play a game that is based around numbers. You roll a dice with modifiers to try and succeed above DCs that are set as difficulty. The game is built around numbers, so when people turn up and aren't happy with the numbers that they get, yes, that's going to upset them.
Of course. Yeah.
But at the same time, those numbers are reasonable. So that person
the numbers
can't,
are reasonable.
I don't understand how that person can just leave.
Yeah.
So, like, both of these people are assholes.
I agree. I think everyone is an asshole here. I think, again, like, it's not being able to see outside of your own opinion.
Yeah.
It's not being able to understand, like, OP is saying, I think it makes for great roleplay. And then not being able to understand why someone would want more than that. And then the person who left to not be able to understand that you don't need to have those numbers at level
18.
And, you know, I'm sure some sort of discourse went on between the two as well. And it's like, the fact that you can't meet in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, 17, 14, 13. Even with a multi-ability score dependent character,
you're Gucci.
You are in good.
Yeah,
you are in good stead
totally.
there.
Totally.
Like I said, put the 2 in the 14, make it a 16. Put the 1 in the 13, make it a 14. 14, 16, 17.
Yeah.
Like, how much better do you want to be at the game at level 1?
Yeah. I think both of these attitudes stink.
Both of them stink.
You both stink.
You stink.
You stink.
Both of you.
I'm sorry, you're both assholes.
You stink. Stinky. Nice.
I hope this isn't horrible for people. You're both assholes.
Yeah. Like, of course, people are bothered about numbers.
Unrestful. Okay, well, on to number 3.
I like that one. I didn't, but I liked it for,
Yeah, totally. Okay, number 3. Am I the arsehole for not allowing one of my players to multi-class because it has no explanation? I DM for a small group, and I recently found myself in a problem I'd like to share. One of my players found a recent beginner of the game, found out about the Hexblade Warlock and now wants to play it.
Haven't we all?
Haven't we all, baby? Haven't we all had our eyes opened to Hexblade Warlock?
Haven't we all gone, I'm playing this class, but Hexblade.
I could dip into Hexblade.
I could just dip into Hexblade. I could just
dip into Hexblade. The issue, he's a druid. Always goes on about in character about how nature, and I say nature on purpose, not the Wild Mother or any other god of nature, about how everyone should go live in the woods with him, etc. What's more, he's given me, in bold, full caps, no patron to make a contract with to be a warlock. He just wants it to be from thin air. I first explained he needs to up his charisma stat, 12 at the time, to multiclass. And then if he didn't want an explained patron, I can help him become a celestial warlock who serves nature and all. But he made it really clear that he wants the Hexblade, the hex out of his character. I'm currently saying no until he gives me a reason why basically a hippie druid suddenly draws out a magical sword out of thin air. Am I the asshole? Should I allow him to do that? Should every multi-class be within reason of the story, of the character, or the plot itself? It's a
tough one, isn't it?
Oh, there's a lot to that one.
It's tough, isn't it?
Yes, I think you're being an asshole for not letting him.
Yes, I agree.
Multi-class, but
the only thing is, a lot of people like to stick to the rules.
Yeah.
And multi-classing can get out of hand if you don't.
Definitely.
And if you don't set those boundaries. They do have a 12, not a 13. Okay?
Yeah.
So
is 13 the?
I'm pretty sure every time you multi-class, you need to have a 13 in the primary ability.
Yes.
So that person needs to find that one from somewhere.
Yes.
But also at the same time, you don't always need a reason to multi-class.
and again,
and also you don't need a patron.
No, like, if this, it's hard because I am a very, I think I'm biased because I'm a very, roleplay heavy, always making the decision for my character that the roleplay lends into. So I understand why the DM is like, they kind of need a reason, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, I think maybe OP is getting caught up in the idea of druids. They even said like some hippie druid getting a magical sword. It's like, it doesn't have to be themed like that.
No,
you can theme things however.
And like the thing is, right, it could purely be like the blade that they find is cursed.
Yeah.
There you go. There's the patron.
And maybe it's not a blade. Maybe it's like a wooden staff.
Yeah.
Maybe it's, maybe it's a blade. It's a wooden blade that's sharp enough because of the magical properties. The OP even said the Wild Mother. The Wild Mother could be the patron. Do you know what I mean?
Like I feel like
there's so many options here.
They're definitely getting stuck in the like, well, no, they're a druid, they can't be a warlock. No, like they haven't told me the reason. It's like you don't always need a reason.
Yeah.
Jasper was a wizard that was probably going to multiclass into fighter down the line. I don't have to be like I go and militarily train and I was part of like this militia. It's like I can just become a fighter because it is also mechanically better for me.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Because I like that.
And, I want to do it. I don't always need a absolute, like, 100. Everyone gets so stuck up with warlocks as well. It's like, well, no, because your character's not evil. It's like, why do warlocks have to be evil?
Yeah, warlocks do not have to be evil, man. Like,
we don't have a patron. That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It can just be like, it could be like something as simple as it could be like a cursed item that wants to like sap the soul of the forest.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And they could use that to overcome some, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. And, the whole multi-classing doesn't have to have a reason. Rayla to some degree. Granted, it suits Rayla for who she is.
Yeah, I think it suits her.
It suits her, but I wanted to be more martial, so I multi-classed into barbarian.
You didn't have to go and like train with a band of barbarians orcs to like do it. It's like it made sense.
Yeah, I mean,
for like how you roleplay.
Totally.
Like, is the character like is this druid very naive? Done.
Yeah,
that's the only reason you need.
There's so many ways around it, and
are they like susceptible to influence?
Yeah,
that's it.
Like, have they been such a good protector of nature? Nature wants to give them something back.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? You can make a pact with nature itself. Yeah. I don't know. Like there's so many ways to go around it.
I think we're getting hung up on patron and druid, warlocks are evil.
And warlock but they make a very good point about the charisma score.
That is a good point. And
that is a good point.
That is like the thing is, right? Like we said before, Margaret multiclassed than mine. Like, technically you shouldn't have been allowed, but at the same time,
because I didn't have the strength score.
Because she didn't have the strength score. When the only time she rages is when she goes in the bear form, and as soon as she goes in the bear form, she gets it. And I know that the thing is, like, the reason why this is in place is because so then you can't just dip into any class at any point whenever you want.
Exactly.
So like
there has to be limitations to it, which I understand.
There has to be some limitation somewhere. But I also know that Margaret isn't a piss taker. And Margaret wanted to go into barbarian for like Rayla's roleplay, a character. It wasn't because I need rage and I want to smash. It was definitely more for like her story than it was for anything else.
And it was actually something I agonized over as well.
And agonized over. And also, I know Margaret would never come to me and try and multiclass into something else now.
No, because that's it.
Like, that's not the reason we do it.
Yeah. And I'm sure if anyone else wanted to multiclass too, you'd let them.
Yeah.
My
if somebody came to me and they were like, my wisdom score is 10, but I want to be a cleric, I'd be like, well, if that's what you want for your character, then let's do it.
Yeah.
Because I know you aren't piss takers. This is the problem, though, because I know you all really well.
Yeah. And
maybe these people don't have that luxury.
Exactly. And maybe there's something that potentially the DM isn't saying, but, context that we don't have that maybe they could potentially be a piss taker.
Yeah.
I actually, you know what? I actually don't think anyone's the asshole here.
No, it's either no one is or they all are.
Yeah. I think, I don't think anyone is.
I don't think it's anyone is.
I think it's maybe just getting caught up on things, which people do. That happens.
People do get caught up on things, and sometimes they just need a little bit of perspective. And I definitely think that this is, the DM's getting caught up on warlocks and evilness and all that shit. The only thing is the 12, but and also like when you fucking start your first character, because this is it, they're all new characters. Like, you see something new and shiny and you're like, ooh. Because campaigns can be long.
Of course,
and I get
of course.
And I get that.
I also think, there is a little bit on the player's side as well, because it sounds like the DM's tried to be like, well, what's the reason? And it sounds like the player maybe isn't meeting them in the middle and they're not coming together to work out a reason together.
Yeah.
And they're both going, well, I think it should be this way. Well, I think it should be this way. And like, there's no meeting in the middle.
See, this is the thing, because me personally, if I was to multiclass, I would want a reason.
I would want a reason too.
But for myself, even if the DM didn't want it for me, just me as a person, I would want to be like, I'm doing it because.
That's because we're super like character driven and super like role play based.
I agree.
So I don't know. I don't think anyone's the asshole.
I don't think anyone's the asshole here, really. No. I think it's just a little bit of Yeah, a bunch of just a little bits mixed together that have created this situation.
Totally. I hope, OP, I know you're not watching, but I hope that works out.
OP, let me know if you're watching.
So, number 4. Am I the arsehole for not healing the whole party? I've become my party's de facto healer, but it seems like this one character abuses this and puts himself in danger or starts fights on purpose. Then expects me to heal him if he goes down or is hurt. I've told him many times in the last few months that he can't keep playing like this and expect me to waste spell slots to heal him. 2 games ago, I let him go down and I didn't heal him till his last death save. I told him I wouldn't be saving him in battles he instigated. Last game, we were trying to stealth into a building and he ran away from the party and went somewhere he knew that there was guards. Obviously, a fight broke out and he went down hard. I refused to heal him, as I said I would, and another character used a healing potion to keep him from dying. Now the party is divided on this issue. Some saying it doesn't matter how hurt we get, I need to keep the party alive. No, sorry, how we get hurt. I need to keep them alive. The others agree and are sick of him putting himself in danger and expecting us to save him. I am not a druid. No, I am a druid. Oh my god. I am a druid, not a cleric. Was not intending to be the party healer when I made this character either.
So, as we've said many times before, as we've said so many times before, just because you're the cleric, just because you're the druid,
doesn't mean you're the healer.
Doesn't mean you're the healer, so don't let the party make you the healer.
And it sounds like OP has been literally forced into being the healer here.
Literally.
And let me tell you, and this is my perspective only, this is my opinion, being the healer is so difficult for exactly the reasons that this person has outlined. The spell slots. You only, as a druid, it takes spell slots to heal people. Yeah. Spell slots are finite.
Yes.
And then when you start going down the path of someone's constantly hurt and constantly going down and you're having to keep them off that verge of constantly going down, you can't do anything else.
Yeah, and it's weird because in our group, let's say that somebody gets uber hurt, but by no fault of their own, and Abby uses a couple of spell slots to heal them or something like that. They're like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And we try to manage ourselves.
It's you don't have to apologize for being healed, but just understand that they're that person doesn't owe you anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because they picked cleric or druid doesn't mean they owe you their spell slots. And their spell slots don't have your name on them. You pick those spells because if something goes wrong, yes, maybe you need to bring somebody back or you need to heal somebody. Yeah. But if you're going out of your way
to get hurt,
to start fights,
to start fights, to get hurt, and then you know what? It's the turning around and being like, you're supposed to save the party. It's that's
not. I don't come to D&D to do that.
Yeah, especially when they explicitly said, I'm not the party healer. It's different if someone says, I'm the healer, I'll look after you all, don't worry, I'm happy doing it. But for someone who just has healing spells to be forced into being the healer, maybe, you know what, I can realize that I'm saying this from a point of frustration from my own experiences, and I'm biased because I hated being the healer.
I mean, I've never been the healer, and I also understand how frustrating it is.
Yeah, I think maybe I'm coming at it a little bit too.
No, I don't think so. Especially, again, you come to D&D because you want to play D&D, and you might want to do a bunch of things. You might want to, come and cast a cool new spell, and you've been waiting as a cleric to cast Spirit Guardian since level 1, and show everyone what your Spirit Guardians look like, or show everyone what your spiritual weapon.
But now this person's gone down, I have to use my action healing them.
I don't get to cast any of the spells I want to cast. I don't get to show anybody the theming of my character. Cool stuff. Yeah, it's but you're chucking yourself in the way of every opportunity to get hurt,
intentionally as well.
And now I'm having to spend my action economy to heal you.
And to also say above game, if you do this again, I'm not healing you. If you instigate this again, I'm not healing you out of game. And then for them to do it in game. And you know what? The fact that half of the party is you should heal them. I can't help but feel like that half of the party are saying that because they don't want to have the burden of also being healers.
I bet you one of them's maybe something a bard that has
cure wounds or
that
something.
Has some off healing or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's the bard is just as much of a healer as the cleric is.
Well, yeah. If we're going by
not,
default of having
like,
healing spells.
If this person hasn't picked...
this person's a druid as well.
The bard is just as much of a healer as the druid is. Like, yes, there is some druid subclasses that are made to be good healers, but if you didn't pick one of them, you're just as much of a healer as that bard is.
Yeah.
Or another cleric that didn't pick the subclass. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you pick war domain cleric, you aren't the healer.
Yeah, you're not going to be the healer, are you?
No.
Yeah, like, I think it's so unfair for there to be a conversation had above the table and then for this person to ignore it.
Yeah.
This person needs to have like a word had with them.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's just so
I mean,
rude.
they've already had a word had with them.
Oh, well, yeah, I know.
That's so...
I'm so sorry, OP. That's so shit. You are not the asshole.
No, this person's the asshole.
This person is 100%
100%
the asshole. Unrestful. Oh, man, OP. That's
shit, that's
fucking pissed me off.
And it just puts off anyone ever picking cleric, druid, or that, because everyone,
exactly.
as soon as people pick it, the rest, some people in the group are like, all right, so you're the healer. It's like, no, I'm not.
And I'm sorry that your table didn't back you up, by the way. People can obviously see how much of an asshole this person is acting, right?
Yeah. And like in our game, Abby picked blood cleric, and I made it, like, Abby's never said anything about not being the healer.
No.
Never.
No.
It's been me
Yeah.
Who's been like, just so you all know, like, that's a DPS cleric.
Yeah.
And that's why I've given, like, just some off healing to everyone in magic item capacity.
Yeah, totally.
So it takes the pressure off Abby, so she can do the cool shit she wants to do as a vampire bitch.
Absolutely.
And like fucking be the vampire she wants to be.
Yeah.
And not have to get bogged down by all this shit.
100%. I completely agree.
Do that for your clerics and your druids and your bards that aren't healers.
Yeah, totally. Man, you're not the asshole here.
Nah.
Not at all. Not at all. Okay, number 6. No, number 5. Number 5.
Number 5.
Wow. Am I the asshole for basically killing my party member? Oh. So we have this campaign, including 5 players and a DM, which we've been playing for about 5 months. For most of us, it's our first campaign ever, and we still have our original characters. Well, until today.
Oh, no.
A few sessions back, we killed our first arc BBEG and raided his place. My character was in one room by himself and took a spell scroll without telling anyone about it. IRL players obviously knew.
Yeah.
Even though he couldn't read it, because I assumed it was a wizard spell scroll and he was a warlock. Also this, taking things without telling other people in the party isn't new. Multiple members have done it multiple times. No one has ever had any issues with it. And it seemed like the thing that our characters would actually do. I think I can see where this is going to go.
Mm.
Well, this session, we had a lot of combat, and one of my friend's characters didn't make it. The combat was hard, but if we had slightly better rolls or timing, we could have all survived it. We still would have been really beaten up, but at least alive, which didn't happen. But our DM said something about how it didn't have to be that way, and basically, it's karma. So after the combat ended, we begged him to tell us what he meant, and he gave us a minute to figure it out. After which he would tell us what we could have done if we didn't figure it out ourselves, in which case we would be allowed to do it if we had figured it out ourselves. So everyone obviously panicked, me included, and started to look through our notes. I was pretty sure that I didn't have anything, and actually through a bit of metagaming, I knew that one of our players had also seen the spell scroll, but also couldn't read it, so I didn't really focus on it. Well, how you probably could have guessed, the DM told us that the spell was Revivify, hence the 1-minute timer, and our 4th, not really sure how, 2nd level cleric could have casted it. He also told us that the party is a family, so we shouldn't lie to each other, and that being an edgelord never works out. After that I felt horrible. I never wanted my friend's character to die, and I actually cried a bit even before I knew that it was basically my fault. And now I don't know what I should do. Am I the asshole? Oh, no. Oh, OP.
Tough that, innit? So the thing is, right, the bit that it was like, it's karma.
That's so mean.
That's mean.
That's so mean. That's so mean.
I understand that you were trying to maybe teach them a lesson about like not keeping secrets from each other.
Yes.
Because, sometimes keeping secrets from each other can sometimes lead to not problems, but like people can forget things.
Yeah,
people
I would
can forget
agree.
that they've
Yeah,
got things. People can forget plot lines. People can forget things.
I would agree.
And maybe like not sharing information can sometimes err on the side of being like, well, I know, and I don't want any of you to.
And I think when you keep things to yourself in character, but everyone at the table knows, you're kind of potentially setting up a frustrating moment like this, where the players, no one wants to metagame, right? No one wants to intentionally metagame in this sense.
Yeah.
Like, I think you're setting up a really weird precedent of, well, we all know and we're all a little bit frustrated, but is it right for us to say?
I think that, it is a good lesson to learn.
Agreed.
But I don't think that you should have played with a character's life to do it.
No, I completely agree with you.
Let me put it this way. If this was the same thing and maybe a tiny bit of treasure escaped them.
Yes.
Or
maybe like a bad guy got away.
A bad guy got away for this reason. That's a good time to teach this lesson to your party. For me, some DMs might not give a fucking shit and just let them do it.
True, yeah, of course.
To me,
of course.
I prefer my players to be open and honest with each other because it's a collaborative storytelling game.
I agree.
You've got to collaborate.
And, DM isn't wrong. Being an edgelord never works out. It doesn't. It simply doesn't.
I understand that the values that this DM is trying to uphold and teach their players, but
that's the wrong way to do it.
This wasn't the right moment to do it.
Especially like OP said they cried about this.
I mean, someone's lost their character because of this.
Someone, there's real life feelings involved here. Like, man, this is a tough one. I'm actually edging on the DM is the asshole.
The DM is the asshole. I agree.
Like,
because like this person didn't know it was a Riverfire scroll. This person,
true.
I think this person in the moment, if they knew, they would have used it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think that's another problem with not telling the group.
I know.
When it's on you and you only.
Now it's too late.
I understand why OP thinks it's their fault.
It's not.
But no, I don't think it is. I think it's kind of everyone's fault.
Yeah,
a little bit.
But I just don't think this.
I don't think you should have diced with a character's life.
This isn't the teaching moment.
No, I agree.
This isn't the moment to do.
This
isn't
the moment the DM thinks it is.
Yeah.
And people have come away feeling terrible.
I know.
And someone's lost a character.
Lost a character over it.
Like, when it is just left to you to remember things, you're going to forget. Of course you are. What am I saying? Have you seen that TikTok of the guy who starts talking? He starts sounding like an Animal Crossing character.
No.
I sounded like that.
I've never heard that. Let me try to do that.
Go on. That's quite good.
That's the podcast.
That's it. There. Bye. What was I saying?
I don't know.
What was I saying?
I don't know.
We were talking about example. Abby was given an item that, granted, is like a group item, but I made a sheet that has all of our group items on it that we put in the middle of the table so we can remember them. You know what I mean? If it was purely up to Abby to remember that, we probably fucking wouldn't use it all the time.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
the pressure of one person having to be in charge of something like that. Like, the only thing I'm not quite understanding here is anyone can use a spell scroll, right? You don't have to be a wizard to use one. Am I right in thinking that?
Yes.
Like, OP's saying here, I was a warlock, so I kept it, even though I assumed it was a wizard spell. And they said our 4th, 2nd level cleric could have casted it. And OP makes a point to say, I'm not sure how they could have cast it, though. Like, am I right thinking anyone can use a spell scroll? I sound like Animal Crossing character again, though.
So, a spell scroll bears the words of a single spell written in a mystical cipher. So it's a mystical cipher is the thing. So it may not have been able to be read.
Okay.
If the spell is on your class's spell list, you can read the scroll and cast its spell without providing any material components.
So that's why the cleric would have been able to do it.
That's why the cleric would have been able to do it, and not the warlock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. But again,
I was looking for the material components.
That's like super nuanced. Do you know what I mean? That's super nuanced. And if you don't know that information, I can see why you would get a spell scroll and be like, I wouldn't be able to use it. However,
if
one of us got a spell scroll, we would say, We have a spell scroll.
Oh, yeah,
Can anyone use it?
Look at what I found. Yeah. Like, again, I am more on the side of like being open and honest with the other people in your party.
Me too,
you know,
very much so.
Maybe there's other things that, you know, maybe don't fall into that, like backstory. Sometimes you can keep some of that to yourself.
Sometimes you have to keep backstory to yourself.
Metagame knowledge knows that that's probably going to come out at some point anyway.
Yes, indeed.
But with things like spell scrolls, if you just keep it and pocket it and then forget about it,
you're going to forget about it.
There's no reason for that to become about.
100%.
So I always am more of a fan of sharing things with each other.
Me too. I am I've said it before, I'm an advocate of telling the people at your table what you have.
Yeah, what you 100%.
I'm a full believer of that. But you know, I also realize that there's probably an in-between of that, right?
Yeah.
I agree with the DM. The party's a family. You have to work together. Being an edgelord doesn't work out. This was not the way to do it.
This was not the moment to do it.
And I'm so sorry that this person lost their character.
I agree.
I'm so sorry that you're so upset about it, OP, and you're blaming yourself, because I would blame myself in that situation too.
Yeah, but you shouldn't.
No, but you shouldn't.
Because it is the DM's fault.
It is.
In this moment,
the DM had the power to not kill that character.
In this moment, the DM is the asshole.
The DM could have stepped in at any point and let you do it. Do you know what I mean? The DM saw how devastated you all were and could have...
It's like, literally, it's like, Warlock, roll me a history check or an intelligence check or anything like that, a wisdom check to see if you can remember, like, just one of those, like, eureka moments.
Yeah.
If they succeed, make it a low DC, make it 10.
Yeah. Everyone.
And then if they don't get it, just be like, you think you remember you have something.
Yeah.
And it just, like, that just triggers it in their mind. You could have given them something before that minute started.
Something before that character died. 100%, I agree.
Like, just being like, you figure it out. It's like, how many sessions in are we?
I know.
Where do you want us to begin?
Like, I agree. That's not the right...
The DM didn't do enough.
No, I agree. That's not the right attitude to have. Okay. Oh, unrestful. Okay, so number 6. I'm getting the numbers right today because I've written them all down. I had the forethought to do so.
You're in for a treat here, ladies and gentlemen.
Number 2. Am I the asshole gunslinger? So I recently joined a fresh D&D campaign. I started a ranger, and after a few sessions, someone else joined. He wanted a ranger too, and I helped him build it to what he wanted. I retired my ranger with the DM permission because I felt like he was doing my job better, no hard feelings. I rolled up a gunslinger, and I have been having a blast. The backstory is my mother made them, and I have been improving the design.
Percy style.
I was going to say Percy style.
Percy, go on, do you know the whole name?
Percival, oh god, it's really long.
It's super long.
It's really long. I do not know. I'm absolutely certain some of you do, so please...
Type it in the watch party. Type it in the comments down below.
Drop it in the comments, baby. Look at us trying to get sneaky,
Yeah. Gotta do it somehow. No, at least do it with good fun things.
Yeah.
Don't just be like, comment down below.
Even though we do that at the end of every video.
Yeah, I gotta do that at the end as well.
Anyway, I've been improving the design. Now he wants me to make them, or make him... Now he wants to make them, or make him a firearm. I don't want him to have one. There are a lot of canon reasons why he wouldn't know how to make one. So am I wrong for not wanting him to have one? Oh,
what do you think?
No.
What do you think? See, it's so funny because obviously I know all of these and I've had a little bit of time to think about it, and I obviously think about it when I'm putting them down.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's so funny. The dynamic changes when, because you normally read them out and then I
do,
react,
and I normally know them.
But
yeah.
as soon as you read them, I'm like, what do you think?
Listen, I understand. I unfortunately understand, and that's probably not the right opinion to have, right? I think the right way to go about this is embrace what your friends want and support them. But at the same time, especially because they came in with a ranger and you retired your ranger for them.
I don't know if I agree.
Yeah.
I think personally, it's like, you know, let's just say Rayla's the party druid.
Yeah.
She's a wolf.
Yeah.
If somebody came in and was like, oh, you need to teach me how to be a wolf, and then I was like, okay, like imagine if I facilitated it and there was another wolf in the party.
Yeah.
It feels bad.
It does feel bad. It does feel bad. It
like,
does.
I do think there's some things that can be like having the gun is that person's thing.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. And
it's like part of their backstory and like they're working on it and things like that. If they were just to be like, and like you said, I think it gets even worse when it's like they were the ranger.
And then the other person came in. And to be fair, OP said, no bad feelings.
No bad feelings.
But, you know, now I've got my new thing and I enjoy it. And, you know, kind of what you said, like if someone came in as a wolf, yeah, I think I probably would.
You'd feel like your toes being stepped on a little bit.
I think I would. And you know, if you came in as a DMPC and gave me that, I actually think I would love that. I think I would be in solidarity. I feel like there would be, no matter what, a feeling of solidarity, right? Of being like, we're the same, we're in this together. But yeah, I think I would.
I think I'd feel like my toes are being stepped on.
Yeah, I think so. And you know, you can. That's different to saying if just another druid came in. If another druid came in, it would be a completely different situation, right?
And I also think that it has a little bit to do with what it is. It's like in Dungeons and Dragons, guns aren't in a lot of campaigns.
Yes,
some do. I understand that. A lot of like high fantasy campaigns, like guns are either not a thing or are just becoming a thing.
And you know, the OP has crafted a whole reason like, as to why they have guns.
Yeah, like it's like a canon reason. It's a backstory reason. It's just like with the whole thing with Percy, he never wanted to like give the schematics out for his gun because like guns are fucking dangerous.
Yeah, indeed.
Like, and not everyone should have a gun. And if people have guns, they should be trained to have guns. Like all of that also adds to the fact that I agree that this person shouldn't have a gun.
I agree. And like
this is a bit of a
This is a hard one. This is a hard one.
I feel like there's probably a lot of people who
would be like,
care.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And would be like, yeah, absolutely. Let us be the two gunslingers together. Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
And I do think I'd like to think I would have that attitude, but I wouldn't know until I'm actually in that situation. And
I like to share with you.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, I'm happy, but I think when it comes to Dungeons and Dragons, I want to be a little bit selfish and like have my moment.
Have your moment. I agree. I agree. Especially because this person has already kind of taken the thing.
A gunslinger.
Yeah.
It's a subclass built around having a gun.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? To me,
this is like. Do you remember that ages ago? That Am I the Arsehole? Where they were like, I'm a Beastmaster Ranger, and then my whole party got companions. It kind of feels like that. And you know, I think
it's a little different because that was the DM that gave them out.
Yes. I think it's hard because OP, obviously this person, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if there's malice behind this and intentionally being like, oh yeah, I want the gun. But you know, I think
give me the gun.
Give me the gun.
Give me the gun.
Give me the gun. But I think, you know, maybe because this oh wow. Oh, you just threw that one right in. Oh, that was for free, baby. I think, you know, because they already had the subclass and the person handed it to them, I think this person doesn't realize that there could potentially be a problem.
Yeah.
Especially, did they say that they're a new player? I don't know if they said they were a new player, actually. OP, no, I don't think you're an asshole or in the wrong for not wanting him to have one.
I can see this splitting people down the middle.
I agree, very much so.
I would be more than happy if everybody in the comments or everybody in the watch party was like, don't agree. I'd be more than happy because I think it's all about personal choice.
It is very much so. There's some people who would be like, hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, I can't wait to have like a buddy gunslinger.
There could be someone else who's like, I don't care.
Yeah. There
could be people who are like,
guns are my thing.
I want it to be my thing. And that's very personal.
I think it all comes down to the person who is the character with the thing that the other person wants.
And OP's saying, I don't want him to have one.
And I think I
think we have to respect that.
I think you've got to respect that.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't think
I don't think anyone's the asshole here. No, I don't. I think that was just a nice thing to talk about.
Yeah, I think, you know, the other person might literally just want to like be like, oh, that's cool.
Maybe
like,
this person looks up to you.
Once tried to connect with your character over it. Because you make me one.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, you know, we don't know the context behind it, but no, I don't think anyone's the asshole here.
I don't think.
Restful. Okay, number 7. Am I the ass? Why did I start reading it like that? Am I the asshole for not giving my players a short rest when they didn't ask for one? Recently, I was DMing a session where during the final fight of a dungeon, a PC died and the rest of the party was hanging on by a thread. After leaving the dungeon, they buried the PC out of the outside of the. Why is that making me laugh? Sorry, that's not funny. They buried the PC outside of the dungeon, and I asked them if there was anything else they wanted to do before they went back to town. They said there was not. I rolled some dice to see if there would be an encounter on the road, and turned out that they had to fight some CR 1/8 enemies.
1/8.
Thank you. Normally, this wouldn't be a problem, but because the characters were at such low HP that 1 or 2 hits could kill them. After the first round, they said the funeral should have counted as a short rest. I disagreed, since digging a grave didn't seem like a restful activity. Did you get this off the back of the restful and
I was reading
unrestful?
it, and then I heard the unrestful activity. I was like, I've got to put this in.
If you don't know what we're talking about, in last episode, there was discourse about what entails being restful or unrestful. I also mentioned I tried to bait them into taking a short rest when I asked if there was anything else they wanted to do, but they said they just wanted to head back. Didn't feel like it was fair to ask for a retroactive short rest while in mid-combat. Ultimately, the party barely survived, but the NPC they were traveling with did not. This is my first time DMing, and I'm trying to get better at it, so wanted to see if it sounds like I made the right call. I don't think you did. I don't think you did. And I don't think you did it out of malice.
No.
I think...
And I understand that, like, every time you travel somewhere, you roll an encounter, but maybe, just maybe, you could not do it this time after one of the characters has just died.
Yeah.
And they're all really, like, low hit points. Probably have the minds elsewhere.
Yeah, they just had to bury a friend.
Bury the friend and stuff like that.
I'm sorry I laughed, by the way. You know what? Just the sound that we buried them outside the dungeon. I don't know why. That just tickled me. That's not funny. That's very sad.
I think, it's like, I think you were maybe stuck in like right, well, this is what we do.
Yes.
It's like sometimes...
Sticking to the script.
Sometimes there's just moments where you can break that.
Sometimes there are moments where you have to break that, I think. And I don't, I don't think you did it out of malice. And I don't think you were intending to be the asshole here. I don't think you were intending to be the asshole here, obviously. But, this is a perfect example of a lack of communication.
Yeah.
Messing things up badly,
mm-hmm.
and the DM being stuck in the DM head, and then the players being stuck in the player head, not being able to see outside of that.
Yeah.
And at the same time, Jesus, if we had to bury one of our friends, one of our party members, us as actual people would be distraught.
Yeah,
right?
like the thing is, right, if one of you had to bury one of your friends in game, the rest of the session isn't going to go how I planned it to go.
Of course.
Like, it's not. It's like, I might have had a travel combat for this next bit, but someone's dead. I'm just going to not do the travel combat.
Just going to not do it.
Because, like, sometimes some things are more important than sticking to the plan.
Totally. And hey, that's an experience thing.
But that's also just... I'm about to say that's just a me thing, but I don't think it should be.
I think that's an experience thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, OP says, this is my first time DMing.
Yeah.
This is probably the first time they've had to deal with something like this.
Yeah.
I understand how it would be easy to not be able to pick this out as a defining moment.
Yeah.
And be like, well, I owe it to them to continue to play what I had planned.
Like, as I normally do.
And not change things to them.
Yeah.
And the more I say it, the more I realize it. I think it probably very much is an experience thing.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm like, use an ounce of critical thinking.
Yeah.
And
but sometimes in those moments, you may be panicking.
Especially if you've lost a party member.
Yeah, because you as a DM losing the party member is also
devastating. Yeah, of
not
course
just for the players.
And it's difficult.
And maybe you were like, I've got to just shake it off and stick to the plan and like keep the session moving.
Yeah, maybe it was like, right, okay, well, let's here we'll have a random encounter. Let's see if that can like get their minds off it. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That's assuming. That's trying to fill in context that isn't there.
It definitely wasn't the right thing to do in the moment.
It wasn't the right thing to do.
It wasn't to chuck and then I agree with you. Like giving them a retroactive short rest isn't the right thing to do, but they shouldn't be in that situation where they're fighting for their lives already anyway.
I actually kind of want to argue that in that moment when they go, well, we should have had a short rest, like, why have you done this? I think it would have been all right to say, yeah, all right.
Probably would have, like...
Say, yeah, okay.
It's like you were trying to bait them. Sometimes saying what you actually mean is better than trying to not say what you mean in a roundabout way. Just say, do you want to take a short rest?
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing wrong with that as a DM.
It feels, as a player, I feel like that could get into the realms of the DM's like, well, I tried. And the players are like, well, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
And now the players are frustrated because they expect you to read between the lines, which, some people can't do.
Some people can't do. It's like, I think there's nothing wrong sometimes as a dungeon master in just saying out loud, this is probably best for you to do right now.
Totally.
Even just saying, like, are you guys going to take a short rest?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
That is almost telling them that is almost telling them. Being like, is there anything else you want to do?
Is not.
That could mean fucking
anything.
That
could mean anything. They're probably thinking, are you talking about the funeral?
You're talking about the funeral, That's what I thought about.
That's also what I would have thought about.
So it's like, saying the words, are you going to take a short rest?
Yeah.
Could maybe just be like, fuck yeah, we probably should.
Yeah, and then when you say things like that and expect people to be able to read between the lines and they don't, people are going to get annoyed at you because it's going to feel like you're against them and like you've like tricked them.
Yeah.
Or you've like fooled them in a way. You've bamboozled them.
Yeah, it's like, well, I told you. It's like,
yeah,
you didn't.
And it's like you did. It's like, I tried to bait you. It's like,
don't bait me. Just tell me. Yeah.
Again,
our heads were all over the place.
I think that is a super, like, that's an experience thing. Like, being able to be comfortable enough with your players and, to know you're not metagaming.
Yeah.
And as to say, you should take a short rest here. Yeah. Like, shall we class that as a short rest?
Or just ask the question, are you going to take a short rest?
Yeah, just, should we class that as a short rest?
Yeah.
And again, I think, especially as a first-time DM, it's like, I don't want to railroad them. Yeah. I don't want to tell them what to do.
That's not railroading.
That's not, I promise you.
Railroading is something different.
Yeah, 100%.
Railroading is like forcing something to happen that shouldn't.
Exactly.
Just like reminding your players that they probably need a short rest before they travel.
Yeah.
Or being like, it's probably best if you do.
Yeah.
Isn't railroading.
I agree.
That's just helping.
Honestly, it really is. And I understand as a new DM why you would potentially think like that.
But also, maybe don't
I think you should.
Don't put that encounter in.
Yeah, I hope that this was a learning moment.
Yeah.
Like, let's face it, probably was a learning moment.
Sounds like it was.
And I don't think you're an asshole. I don't think you are. I think you just maybe had a lapse of judgment and like didn't consider all the options, which happens.
Like
you're
said,
human, it happens.
You're human, and like there was probably a lot going on in your head after a character. If it was the first player death that you'd had at your hands, you could be feeling a lot of things. You could feel a little bit guilty. You could be feeling a little bit of pressure to like pick everyone up by the bootstraps and carry on with the session because some players might be a bit down.
And I honestly,
I think Margaret's right. I think this is an experience sort of thing. Yeah,
this is a learning moment, and to argue back, being like, well, digging a grave isn't a restful activity. It's like, just maybe think. Maybe just think before you say things.
I agree.
But it sounds like it's a learning experience. I don't think you're an asshole.
No,
I don't think you are. I think maybe you were a little bit of an asshole. But
I think you didn't. It wasn't like intentional. You weren't doing it like to be nasty. I think you were just following your routine, and maybe you could have just thought about it a little bit more.
Totally.
That's all.
Agreed. Okay.
Let's put that in the middle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What's this one?
Resting?
Yeah. No, I like it.
My dog's stuck under a blanket, so give me a second.
Okay, this is number 8.
Number 8!
And this is the second to last one. Little do you know, I've said that twice in a row, because we got halfway through reading one and we were like,
we've read this one before.
We've read this before.
This is because I picked it and I've got a terrible memory.
I also have a terrible memory. So, this is number 8 for like the 3rd time.
And I said number 8 like that every single time.
Every single time.
Because I've got to commit to it, to the bit.
Exactly. So, am I the arsehole for wanting to quit a campaign if the payoff for not being able to play my character for 3 months isn't massive? I'm already confused about what that means. If the payoff for not being able to play my character for 3 months isn't massive.
Read it.
Sorry, yeah, okay.
And you'll find out.
Here is the story. I've been playing a homebrew game for almost 3 years now, and according to our DM, there could be another 3 years to go. The most recent arc we completed ended with my character forcibly being taken away to some mountain far from the party's current location. The DM has purposely been vague with what the plan is with my character, but based on few of the context clues I have received, my character seems to be taking part in some form of training arc or tournament. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So they're taken away to do training, basically.
Okay, understood.
Some intense training.
I was originally fine with my character being separated as we were at the end of the arc, and the party had already agreed that the mountains was our next destination anyway. The main issue here is that it has been 3 months since my character got taken away. I've essentially been in limbo while waiting for my party to get to their believed location already. I don't think my DM considered the fact that our table takes downtime at the pace of molasses when they came up with this story hook. I mean, the party recently asked to roleplay out a session of creating table decor, for example. In the meantime, I have not been allowed to play. I have been allowed to play as one of our more important NPCs, so I'm not just sat at the table awkwardly twiddling my thumbs the whole time, but it is still not the same. Playing a temporary character in a long-term game feels a bit pointless and empty. When my character was sent off to the mountain, she was told that she will be receiving a great power in exchange. After 3 months of waiting for payoff, I am hoping this power is absolutely amazing. My character has missed out on so much since their banishment that I can't help but feel like I am owed a large boon for having to wait for so long. And if that boon isn't really anything special, I think I will try to amicably leave the game or at least take a long hiatus to cool off. Now, I hate sounding so selfish and being a spotlight hog, but am I the arsehole for demanding something huge in exchange for my character being sent to the proverbial Shadow Realm for 10 sessions straight? I really hate being a drama / they're going to say the word, negative Nancy player.
There it is. Don't like saying
Don't
negative
like saying
Nancy.
that. So I'm having trouble confronting my DM and party about feeling like my character has just been thrown to the side. Thanks for sharing your thoughts on this, and please feel free to be honest with your opinions. That's so weird, Jack. This was also a runner-up to being in an episode one time as well.
Really?
Yeah. We have great minds.
There's just some very good ones. And
yeah.
This is an interesting one.
This is an interesting one.
I think, what I didn't realize is campaign 1's Terry and Darrington. When Scanlan, for a reason takes a break, he has, a backup character.
Yeah.
In one of the other stories that we done, somebody had a monk, and then they were like, my monk was off doing some stuff, so my second backup character, Ranger, came in. And it's like, that seems to be more common than I thought.
Yeah,
I think that has to be the player's decision.
Agreed.
Not the dungeon master's decision.
Agreed, very much so.
Like, if the player's like, no, I feel like my character would,
take some time,
go to the mountain and train, and I'll play, a backup character.
Yeah, can I come in as a backup character?
That has to be, a player decision.
I agree.
Not a dungeon master decision.
Taking it from the top, I agree. Having the DM be like, your character gets separated and goes to train on a mountain, I don't know. I obviously have no idea what OP's character is like, but if you had said that to me, I'd be devastated.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't say it to you because I would want you to come to me and say,
yeah.
And that has to be in a campaign, in my opinion, full of downtime, because, that couldn't happen in hours. There'd be no fucking way.
And I think as well, maybe this is a game with a lot of downtime because it's been going 3 years. They reckon there's another 3 years left in it. That's a long campaign.
That's a long campaign. Couldn't do that personally.
OP even has some gripes saying we take downtime really slowly. Yeah. A whole session on table decor.
And the thing is, that would be okay if that's what you wanted and you were playing your character.
Totally.
But if your character's not there and you're like, where the fuck's my character?
Totally.
And people are deciding on table decor, you're probably like,
and 3 months.
Frustrated.
3 months in real time. That's
a long time.
That's like half of what our campaign would be now.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think.
That's what I thought. 10 sessions out of our campaign now.
If one of our characters was gone for 10 sessions, man,
I know.
that would feel really bad. But
I know.
Again, I don't think any of it. Well, no, I could probably see maybe a couple of people saying
our campaign goes
fast,
very fast.
It does. There isn't a lot of downtime
There's
like this.
Basically none.
And that's that's what we enjoy.
Yeah.
So I don't think your DM should have taken your character away like that.
Yeah.
In the first place. Now to get onto the topic of, I'm expecting something amazing here, and then I don't want to be selfish and I don't want to be a spotlight hog. I feel like maybe you kind of deserve it a little bit.
I think having your character go away for 3 months, again, sort of sounds like against your will.
Yeah.
I would want something pretty cool in return.
Yeah.
Because if they come back and all they've done is level up or something like that, I'd be like, I could have done that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, you need to have given me something
worthwhile.
I couldn't have maybe, like, out of the realms, like, do I get a new ability?
Yeah.
Do I get, like, one of these epic boons that are coming in 1D&D?
Exactly,
like,
exactly.
Do I get something like that maybe I couldn't get just if I normally leveled in D&D?
Yeah, like, it sounds like this is a trust issue between you and your DM. And if there's trust issues anyway, your DM definitely shouldn't have taken your character away from you.
But is this just where the trust issues have started?
But because the character was taken away,
like, without you being
having a say in it, really.
Because really, the only reason your character should go away is if you want that.
I agree. And I think, OP is clearly worrying, being like, I'm worried that it's not going to be good enough.
Yeah.
I think what you have to ask yourself is, what would you consider good enough?
Yeah.
Or have you already decided that nothing will be good enough?
Yeah, is nothing good enough?
Because it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
And, the language...
I feel like that is the crack here.
Like, the language here being like, well, if it's not special, I'm going to leave. And it's like, I think maybe you've already made your mind up.
I think in this situation, you would need to talk to your dungeon master and be like, just so you know, first of all, don't take my character away from me if I don't want to.
Yeah.
And second of all, I do feel like I need to be heavily compensated.
Yeah, I think it's too late to have the conversation of don't take the character away.
Yeah, maybe next time.
But I think, 100% say, like, I wish you hadn't.
Yeah.
And, I've been away from my character for so long and the table's kind of dragging it on a little bit. And
yeah.
I feel it's pointless. Like, I'm enjoying this character, but it's pointless me playing them. Like, can you, like, promise me that it was worth it?
Yeah, and maybe have a discussion about what you think is acceptable to be receiving.
Exactly.
Because the thing is, it's like, you could be like, I want I want something awesome, and then the DM gives you something that they think's awesome, but you don't think it's awesome enough, and then they're like, well, what the fuck? I give you something awesome.
You're all going to be upset with each other.
You need to talk about what you're expecting.
Yeah,
here.
but your character should not have been taken away.
No,
like that.
Not at all.
Like, and I think because you also feel that you're already putting the expectation of, well, nothing's going to be good enough, and I would agree.
I would agree.
I would agree.
I would agree.
I don't think there's anything you could give me in character that would warrant me not playing my character for 3 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a long time.
But that's me personally.
Yeah.
I understand people maybe aren't as connected with their characters, or don't, simply just aren't bothered.
Not this person.
Not this person,
to.
which is the problem.
Yeah.
And, the DM's been purposely vague. And I feel like that just sets up room to conspire and room to brew on it.
Yeah,
I
agree.
I don't think you're an asshole.
No.
I think
this is just miscommunication on like every single level.
Resting?
I think the DM is an asshole for taking the character away and not like communicating.
I don't even necessarily know if that's asshole behavior. I think it
is.
Then again, we don't know the context to it.
I think it's asshole behavior to take a character away from a player and not tell them.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm still going to say restful. Resting. What do you think? Let us know. Please let us know. But at the same time, I'd be fucking devastated if my character unrestful. And also, fucking stop using terms like negative Nancy. Get that out of your fucking lexicon, because that doesn't help women.
No, it doesn't help women.
Okay, on to the last one.
The last one.
So, this is number 10, and too long didn't read. No, this is number 9. This is the last one. Regardless. Number 12?
Number 9. Last one,
number 9. Too long didn't read. I fudged experience values. A player called me out on it, and a huge argument broke out.
I don't even think this is that long. So,
so I'm doing a long-term campaign. We're like 40 sessions in at this point, and the entire party is around level 15.
That's like my rate of leveling.
Yeah, I would agree. I'd say that is definitely your rate of leveling.
Maybe even faster.
This is definitely bit faster.
27 level A's.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is when I noticed my players were getting bored because they hadn't leveled up in about 4 sessions, and they weren't even halfway through 15. So it probably would have taken another 4 sessions for them to level up. This is when I began fudging experience values in their favor, and I leveled them up after they killed a boss for a dungeon that they had just completed. When I told them that was enough experience to level up, One of my players who had been tracking the experience said the party shouldn't even be close to leveling up, and he called me out on it. After I explained my reasonings, he told me that I should just stick to the rules and stick to the experience values. He then turned to the rest of the party and told them not to level up. I immediately told the party to ignore him and to level up, and then an argument broke out that ended up with him walking out and me ending the session early. Am I the arsehole for fudging experience values?
This is so weird.
I have never once, not once, heard of a group that's like, no, I don't want to level up. Oh.
Right, okay. Hear me out.
Yeah, I know. I think I know what you're going to say.
You know what I'm going to say?
I know what you're going to say.
If you just get it given, it doesn't feel as good.
Agreed. I agree. Very much so. And I think this is obviously people with different values, right?
Yeah.
This is obviously someone who really values, like, potentially the grind. Values, especially if you're experience leveling. Like, this is someone who looks at the numbers and likes to be able to see that progress.
Yeah.
And values them.
Yeah.
Right? Someone who's like, stick to the rules.
Yeah, yeah.
The DM is someone who maybe isn't that bothered and wants to just facilitate the party having a good time.
Yeah.
They think, look, if I can just, they're a bit bored. If I level them up, it'll be better for everyone. I think this would have been so much easier if it wasn't called out in front of everyone.
Like, the thing is, at the end of the day, it's like, maybe this DM has realized that they don't actually care about XP leveling and they just want a milestone level from now on.
Yeah.
And maybe they should have said that out loud to the party. But also, it isn't this fucking player's business to tell the DM what and what not to do.
To be like, don't level up. Everyone, don't level up.
It's like,
come on.
Like, I've never heard anyone be like, we don't deserve to level up.
I know, yeah.
D-rank us a level.
I've never heard that in my life. But you're right. Like,
there is players out there who, like, play experience
obviously.
leveling. Yeah.
Obviously.
And they like the grind, and they like seeing the numbers go up, and they like being like, oh, a couple more fights and then we'll level it up.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing.
I feel like that's a huge part of the experience of people. But what I do think is wrong is saying being so I can't think of the word.
Vehemently.
Yeah, like to be so against your DM, to be like, actually this isn't even close. To say it, that gives me the vibes of actually, as it's written in the monster manual, this has like 140 hit points. That's the vibe I'm getting. I'm assuming here.
Pain.
We all know what happens when you assume.
I know, but
right?
I do agree with you. And it's like, it doesn't matter if it should or shouldn't. If the DM's like, no, we're leveling up because I want to get past this level because I want you all to like get excited for the next level. Like, because the DM literally says, I explained myself.
Yeah.
And I say, oh no.
It's because of this.
I fudged it because of this.
Man, to even put your DM in that position where they have to explain their reasonings for things, I agree. I think the DM should have said prior to all of this.
I think there's nothing wrong if you one time want to break a rule because you want to for the benefit of the party. 100%. I don't think, and like, to me, I would personally still explain myself because I'd want you all to understand why I've done it.
But bro,
I don't have to.
No,
but I want to.
Yeah, I feel like this DM felt like they had to, and that's the difference.
Yeah.
Like, it's not fair to force someone into. But listen, your DM fudges things all the time. I'm telling you that. Your DM will fudge things. There is
not all, but yeah, even most
DMs will fudge
sometimes.
things, and that is maybe a bitter pill to swallow for people who don't like to hear it, but that's simply the truth. And to see what's happening and then to publicly be like, actually, that's really shitty behavior. I really don't like that at all. I really don't like that. But, you know, the whole valuing the leveling experience, that's very valid.
And I get that. I get that.
Very much so.
But I think if you were upset about this, you should have just waited till after the session and gone, is there a reason why your levels is up so early? Because I know that you shouldn't have.
Keep it to your fucking self.
Like, or just keep it between you and the DM.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I mean.
You
keep
can
it
ask
private.
the DM questions.
Yeah.
But you don't have to call them out in front of the fucking group.
It's like the moment, like, that's kind of like, no, it's a different thing. I was going to say it's like if you're like the note taker, right? And you have a huge epiphany about something and everything comes into your mind. And have you seen that TikTok of where it's like when the note taker looks at the DM and the DM looks at the note taker and is like, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like a level of respect.
Yeah.
It's like a level of respect.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with people who are like, you need to value the rules. Because what's the point in playing if you don't respect the rules? I understand.
Yeah, I agree.
But have fucking respect for your DM, man.
Yeah, have respect. I just don't understand where this person thinks they've got the fucking guile and the audacity to be like, no, don't level up.
Don't level up, everyone. Don't level up.
Who are you?
And then the DM
why
has
do you
to
get
be
to do
like,
that?
No, level up.
No, it's like, I want you to level up. It's like, it doesn't matter. Just.
And you know what?
You can value it, but also respect your DM.
It says a lot about the person, the fact that they stormed out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's too much experience.
I don't want to level up.
I don't want to level up today.
But let me be clear. I valuing experience and the rules
is fine.
Very valid.
But I feel like this DM maybe does want to switch over to milestone leveling. Because
and the DM should have said that.
They thought it was the right time to level up, and they wanted it for the players. You know, sometimes I'm like, it's been quite a short time since the last leveled up, but that was a pretty epic fight and an awesome moment, and I want him to level up because of it.
Yeah.
And I'll just do it.
Yeah, and we love that.
And
but
that's up to me, not anyone else.
100%. That's so up to you. Like,
I know what's happening. I know what's coming, so I know what level they need to be and when.
Respect the people around you.
Yeah,
that's all,
baby.
Well, that's it. That's your lot. That's your fill. Are you full?
You better be.
You better be, because that's all you're getting. And I'm not going to give you dessert until you finish. So
yeah, finish.
We'll wait here all day.
Finish it.
That doesn't look finished to me.
No, come on.
Okay.
Mop it up with the bread.
Well done. All right, you get your dessert.
Now you can have dessert.
Here you go.
Here you go.
I lied. There's no dessert.
Ah!
The dessert.
You've been scammed.
The dessert is if you're
join the Discord.
it's joining the Discord. If you are in the Discord on the watch party, your dessert is crab rave after.
Yeah, crab
I
rave
said
after.
it in the last episode. I'm going to say it every time. We have watch parties in our Discord for when these go live, and we always end it with a crab rave.
And also we're the rats.
The rats. The rats. We're the rats. And it's a great time all round.
All
so.
right.
Please join us. Jack, roll them out.
I'm going to roll you out.
Go on.
If you like what you heard here today, please leave a comment down below and give us your opinion on these Am I the Assholes. Let us know of any sorries or any Am I the Assholes that you want to share with us. You had a number of other opportunities to comment down below, so why haven't you? Leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you liked it enough. It is free. If you hit the bell, you'll get notified when we upload a video on Monday and Thursday. And from us here at the Eldritch Podblast, we love you.
We love you.
And
bye.